The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Damn, damn, damn!
Fine.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Got a full panel here to start. We have Jables, welcome.
Hey.
Joe, welcome.
Me?
Yeah.
Hanging around.
Hanging around. Krellbot, welcome.
Hello.
Listen, a lot of people thought when we were making fun of Beetlejuice last week that it wasn't funny. I thought it was funny. You guys thought it was funny. Pete, what did you think?
You think it's fucking funny. It's not fucking funny.
Okay, Pete said it. It's not funny. All right. Anyways, folks, we've had a busy day today. Let's talk about what's going on in the news real quick. You guys heard Sinead O'Connor died.
Yeah.
I actually heard right before the show when you guys
Yeah. I got to say, I did really like her first album, The Lion and the Cobra. I loved The Emperor's New Clothes off her second album. And when I see her bald head, I think 8-ball corner pocket. No. Look, it's sad. I don't know why she died. Anyone see that LeBron James' son had a heart attack at 18 years old in the
People.
Wow,
yeah,
really?
Heart attacks
No, I had no idea.
young.
Yeah, Mick
was
Jagger
working out
turned
and
80, Hugh.
hiccup
That's
game.
correct.
I had no idea that LeBron James had an 18-year-old son.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
had a heart attack. I guess that's common these days. We shouldn't question anything, folks. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys, I've been watching a lot of crime lately. And because of that, I get local news stuff that comes up in my YouTube feed. Have you guys seen this Rex Heuermann, the Long Island killer?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The Long Island serial killer. So I've been watching that. But then I started watching this thing with this girl named Taylor Shabusiness, where her and her boyfriend were doing meth, and then she ended up cutting his head off and then performing sex acts on him while he's dead without a head.
Dead without a head.
So they basically were
It's like a
in
name for a
court
band.
saying, but did you give him head or not? Thank you.
So bad.
I'm telling you, she really gave him the Shabusiness.
That's amazing. Wow.
I love the fact that's her name,
I had
Shabusiness.
no idea.
There was a Judge Judy episode years ago where the girl comes on and her name is Shababra. And I'm like, that's fucking gold. Could you imagine? Oh, hi, Barbara. No, it's Shababra.
Shabarbra.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No shit.
Well, I want everyone here just to guess this is not a racial profiling thing at all, but can somebody tell me if Shababra was white or black?
We are
No?
not- we're
No
not
one's willing to,
we're
no
not
one's willing to
guess
take that
thinking
stab.
thing. We can't
Not
we
fucking
can't even
funny.
presuppose if it was a her.
Right. I mean, no
Or
matter
they.
what, like if I was talking on the phone and I say, well, my name is David, they're going to assume I could be anything. But if I put an L in front of it and say I'm La David, Am I inferring something there or implying? I don't know. Is it implying or infer? Oh, I imply they infer. Am I implying something by saying I'm La David?
Latonda.
You know how? Let me
The
point
LDL
out
show.
how fucked up it is in this world today. I'm at work, and they're doing something called Fiesta, and apparently they're putting a vote for the Fiesta King and the Fiesta Queen for the week. And one of my friends, female, is listed as Fiesta King, a vote for Fiesta King. And I said to another friend, who's a supervisor, I said, "Why is she listed under the King?" She goes, "I don't know. I know it's not supposed to be gender specific, but I thought she always identified as a woman." It's like, you don't even fucking know. And I've known this person since 2017. And I'm like, should I reach out and go, "Do you want to be my king or queen? Let me know what the fucking."
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Hannah Baum, yeah, she was giving him the shabusiness.
Yeah, I
She
got
gave him the full
shabusiness.
reach around. And also that girl, Carly Russell, who was kidnapped, apparently wasn't kidnapped. She apologized now, and now she's saying it was a stunt. Sorry, everybody, for wasting your time looking for me.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Yeah. And it was so funny because I don't know if you saw the parents' interview. The father looked like he wanted nothing to do with that interview. Like they knew the whole time that girl was faking it. But they didn't realize Carly Russell was also giving him the business.
Oh my God.
But anyways, going back to La David, I can only be La David because the only other initial you can put in front of a name to change the ethnicity of the name is a D. So you could be DeJohn, DeJoe,
DeAndre.
right? And then Krelba, I think DeKrelba sounds LaCrel. I think LaCrelba sounds
LaCrel.
better. The L apostrophe or the L small e.
LaCrel.
Sounds
Krelba.
French.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you're saying is
Krelba
that
Jones.
what you're saying is that you would have to go with La David as opposed to De David
Right.
because you're not interested in people assuming that you have a stutter. You
Yes.
would much prefer that them understand you identify as African American.
Exactly.
I understand.
Yes. And it's easy. You have a choice between an L and a D, whichever
By the way, did I
sounds best.
just
You put it in front of your name. What's that?
Was what I just did was considered mansplaining? Yes,
Well, because you were
Well,
explaining
wait a
it to
minute.
me, I don't know.
Hold on.
but I can't assume that you're gender
Bingham.
specific.
Bingham, are you a man though? If you are, then maybe it's mansplaining. Are you a
That's right.
man? You haven't declared.
I am a he him.
Okay.
And by the way, any one of you guys are welcome to hit me in the head with a tack hammer if I ever put that on any of my signatures.
Oh, is that unbelievable? Yeah. Unreal.
I'm a he, him, and yet I have a glorious set of tits.
Yes. Ben Tom says he identifies as a crustacean. So anyways, what else is happening? What's going on in the music biz?
It's a great question.
I'm lost.
Speaking of that, I've been following a little bit this writer strike in Los Angeles, all this Hollywood thing, and I think it's kind of wild.
Writers.
I find it wild how much press they're getting and how much support they're getting when it's effectively the same exact thing as what happened.
Somebody driving their apartment away.
Yeah,
what the hell's going on?
That's outside my window.
But what?
People
Do
can't buy
you
it.
have a fan hitting something every?
I don't know.
You,
All right,
you
go
know,
ahead. Sorry, John.
No, you guys
my air
get the like the whole streaming platform thing, like Netflix and all that. It's really no different than Spotify or Apple Music or any of that sort of thing. So I find it funny how commonplace it is and how people don't give a shit about musicians. You know, with the streaming platforms and like this Hollywood thing's happening, and now everybody cares.
Right.
Oh, the actors aren't getting paid. It's like, well, yeah, join the club.
Yeah, right. Welcome aboard.
Right.
I think Hollywood's going away, and maybe movies will become a little more
the best was
independent-minded.
that the Universal Studios sent them out to trim the fucking palm trees that they were in the shade under. Did you see that, Dave?
No.
It was on the news. Yeah, all the strikers were under these palm trees in the shade, and Universal Studios sent tree trimmers out to take all the branches off.
Oh, that's great. They got
It was
that's the time to
hysterical.
prune the
that's
fucking
delightfully
palm trees.
Right?
That's great. What I meant was music stuff. So, Joe, I know recently that you acquired a new pedal from Strymon.
My steering mon.
This is the Cloudburst pedal. Actually, that's called the box.
That's the box.
Pedal is in there.
Look,
He's
an
got
unboxing.
the box. Josh Scott can sue me for stealing his bit. Yeah, I don't think he's concerned with you having a brand new box to something that just came out. There we go.
Ooh.
Let me make it big real quick. All right, so you bought this. I thought I made it big. There we go. All right, now we're in.
Focus.
Yeah, so it's really like what's that verb they used to make?
Put your hand in front of it like this.
The blue
One of the
sky.
it's one of the algorithms from the Blue Sky.
Blue sky, right?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Joe, you playing a bunch of shoegaze,
No, doom metal.
shoegazi?
I like ambient also. I love ambient music.
Yeah, no, it's a great sounding reverb.
Yeah, it's cool.
Actually, there's a pedal. There's like, what do you call it? Like a foot switch that comes with this. Not comes with it. That I bought. That arrived today. So you flip a little thing in there. You take a thing off the pins and put it on the other pins. And when you press down on the switch, it works as a freeze. So like if you hit a chord,
Oh, nice.
it'll freeze it. And you can solo over it, and nice stuff. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
for another $50, I'll get it.
Yeah. And what else has been coming out lately? I've been how's the amplifier business going, John?
It's good for us. We're growing like crazy.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know how it is for everybody out there right now, but because we're so small to begin with, it's growing like leaps and bounds.
Yeah, I mean, I see Bad Cat everywhere. It seems like every other channel's talking about it. And you remember when the amp thing was going nuts and it was like divided by 13 and you had 65? You had like all these what I'll call micro breweries. It was like all these micro amp companies coming out. And some were great, some were like all right. I mean, even I guess Dr. Z's doing very well, but I don't hear much about them lately. I mean, I think their shtick is their shtick and they've stuck to it.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want to know?
Well, I just don't think they've had any amp come out.
What did they do recently? In the last year, they released another higher gain amplifier.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they had one like 3 years ago, and it must have done well because they did another one. I'm trying to think what the hell it's called. I'm looking it up right now.
I have to tell you my distaste for everybody. I see something come up in a feed and it's like, because somehow I belong to this Mesa Mesa group on Facebook that somebody invited me in. They wrote me in and I was like, all right, I'll stick around because, I don't want them to be like, oh, this guy's got his nose up in the air. So I joined the thing and I see feeds. And one of the feeds was a guy was saying his Road King, he feels when it puts a lot of gain, it gets really muddy.
Okay.
And, he's asking people for advice. Is the rectifier the same way? Meanwhile, it's like, I don't know, dude, turn your fucking bass and mids down, you shitbag. There's knobs on the amp. Fuck around with it.
Right.
You got to ask a group. You're afraid to touch a knob because you're in a fucking group and you got to ask everybody. And then other people are like, oh, yeah, that amp is Meanwhile, it's the same fucking amp as the rec. Let me just tell you, anybody, anything. You can't tell the fucking difference between any of their amps. If they look like the Road King, the single rectifier, the dual rectifier, no difference. Triple rectifier, it doesn't matter. It's the same fucking amp. It's got a terrible clean, a very antiseptic clean, and the distortion is nice, but even that, it's a little antiseptic.
It has to be boosted, otherwise it's not great.
Yeah. There's something about it that, I like it for what it does. I feel like I sound like Jesse the Body Ventura. The two-party system, it is what it does.
Real
RL would
stressful.
be crying right now over that. The two,
That's a good one.
y'all are indoctrinated. I live in the Baja.
No, I mean, there's a truth. There's a truth behind that. You take a look at any of these companies, from Boogie, Friedman. The difference between Friedman models is, a resistor and a capacitor filter here or there.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Marshall. Oh, I really like a 67 Super Lead. Oh, I like a 68. It's like, oh, fuck all of you.
Right. And then,
all the
no, you got to play the super bass, but then you got to pull out the fucking, really? It's the same fucking amp, you shitbag.
Oh, yeah. When everybody like really starts diving into the nerdiness, it's insufferable.
Yeah.
Have you ever played a cranked up plexi, like a real 60s plexi before?
Loud as fuck.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's
It also sounds like a toilet unless you have the bass and mids almost off.
Well, it's impossible. It's like the only way you can actually enjoy it is turned all the way up, and the only way you can actually stand that is if you've got an attenuator on it and you're bringing it down to. There's so much that goes into it. It's like, unless
I
you've
had
got a
those,
$1 million
those.
studio
But
and
that's
it's
all
in another
mojo.
room.
When you go to a shooting range and you wear those headphones, that's what I had on that headset.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big look. I'll tell you right now, I'm not a huge Marshall guy. I think the 2203, 2204 is great amp. I like the 2100, the 2500, and I like the fucking DSL series. Only in the 50, really. The 100's good, but though that TSL 60 stinks. But I mean, Marshalls do what two-party Marshalls do.
Exactly.
Everybody gets indoctrinated.
I unloaded that JVM that I had for about a month.
JVM's a nice. Wait, the JVM? Oh no,
Yeah, JVM.
I like the vintage modern. I always confuse that with the JVM. The JVM's the 4-channel, right?
Well, they made a
Well, the
210H
410
and a
and the
410H.
210.
So there was a 2-channel 100-watt version and a 4-channel 100-watt version.
Right.
I had traded somebody something about a month or two ago for the 210H just to mess around with it because I never had one. And I didn't really bond with it. So I ended up trading a guy the other day for a Boogie Mark 525. Have you seen those little things?
Yes, those are nice little combos.
Yeah, they sell for like the same amount on the used market. So I was like, I could sell the JVM for about $1,200, or I could sell this for about $1,200. And this is 16 pounds, and that's 45 pounds.
Right.
So clearly, if I needed to ship this one, I could do better with it.
Right.
So I ended up doing that deal. So I've got this Mark 525 here.
It's a nice amp, though.
That thing is so cool.
Yeah.
You know what's cool about it? It weighs 16 pounds and it's loud and it sounds great. And then on top of that, it has the cab clone feature on the back. So it's like a line out simulated speaker output sort of deal.
Yeah.
But you can.
And the great thing about that, 16 pounds, it sounds like that Mesa stopped using wood from the petrified forest to build their combos. Is it a head or a combo?
Lead lined. It's a head.
Okay.
Also, because it's only 25 watts, the transformers aren't that big.
Right.
So you're saving on all that iron. I think that's the biggest part of it. But
right. I mean, I get this single. You've had one of these before. The single rectifier.
Yeah.
It's 150 pounds. No, it's literally 85 pounds for a 1x12
for
combo.
A 112 combo.
It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, I'm convinced that like it's not just 13 ply birch, but it's like layers of lead in birch.
Yeah, it's petrified forest.
It makes no sense. It really doesn't.
Yeah. I would feel fine with somebody shooting a gun at it from this.
I remember having it. It's only 50 watts. The output transformer is not that big. So I was kind of like always scratching my head wondering why it was so damn heavy.
It's that cab.
Yeah, it's ludicrous.
It's insane. Well, that's why it's up here. It's never going anywhere.
Yeah.
I took it out to one gig, let me tell you. It was glorious. The
Probably
tone was fantastic. Everything that I needed it for. The cleans, I put a compressor and a bright, so I really dialed in the cleans. And the dirty sound, I just let do I let the dirty do what it does. Everyone was indoctrinated. But anyways, it sounded fantastic. And I remember picking up that amp to put it in my car after that gig, and it was a great gig. And I said to myself, this is never coming out again.
Hilarious.
This fucking just me lifted it to put it in my car. I'm like, fuck this.
Come on, DL, you go to the gym every day.
Yeah, but it's not what I wanted. I'm not there to fucking do any work.
I know. I'm just.
I believe in the
skip the gym
Arthur
on Boogie
Jones,
Day.
Mike Menser, Dorian Yates, high intensity. Today my legs were junk. I literally did 5 sets for legs. I did like 2 for presses, 2 for extensions, and calves, and then I was on to abs and got the piss out of there.
Yeah.
But I feel pretty good now because now people are asking me if I'm on the gas, which means that I'm starting to put muscle back on, which is good.
Yeah.
Which
And you're
I'm
on the
always.
gas.
I'm not on the gas. If I were on the gas, I'd definitely be doing a lot better. But I want to see what I can do without it.
I'm struggling with an old man injury I'm not happy about right now. I have something in my I'll call it my driver's side heel. My driver's side heel, I've got like a an Achilles bursitis. Are you familiar
That's
with that?
fucking painful. I had that.
Yeah, I'm dealing with that right now. It's gnarly. Like so when I want to do cardio, basically what happens is I can go and do it, but then 2 days later that thing's flared up and I can't do cardio again for another week.
Right.
Because
I do sprints twice a week and that's it. I don't even.
Have you ever had to deal with this? Have you had that injury
No.
before? Yeah, it sucks.
One time I was pushing my truck and I pulled a little something in my Achilles.
Are you censoring
No,
yourself?
he's got his noise gate on now so loud to block out the air conditioning that it's blocking out his voice.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, you're cutting out after 2-3 words.
That's right. I had to take a day off Monday because of what Michael pulled on the bathroom floor on Sunday.
Is this better? Much better.
I liked it better when you were muted.
Yeah, I did too. Go ahead, Joe. Talk about what happened with
Michael pulled a fucking, assassination attempt on Sunday. He was on the bathroom floor. It took a Herculean effort to get him up, and I blew a vein out my ass. And I'm like, I ain't working Monday. There's an old man fucking injury for you. When you blow a gasket in the asket,
My roids.
unreal.
You know what?
Roid
You know what?
rage.
You know where Michael is right now? I sent him to Baja.
He went to the bar.
Me?
Nothing.
You're muted
Ah,
too.
it's
What
the
is
best.
what is going on?
No, he's doing his Beetlejuice where he goes, me?
Oh.
Me?
Hanging around. You ever seen that meme on
Yeah, of
Instagram?
course. Yeah.
That's the greatest. Hey,
Ah.
Pete, what are you doing? Me?
I'm so addicted to
Nothing.
Instagram right now. I hate it.
Yeah, I know.
Hanging
I
around.
just like fall into that trap of just scrolling and scrolling. That's what it is. It's a
Scrolling,
trap to
scrolling,
make you not
scrolling.
productive.
So me and Sullivan have been going back and forth, John. Just going back with Mike Menser stuff. Have you seen any of the Mike Menser stuff on Instagram where he's giving speeches and he always sounds like he's talking through a telephone?
How do you spell
The
his last
extra
name?
Menser, Mentzer. He
Oh.
was like he was a
If I know who you're
bodybuilder. He
talking
was
about.
actually a trainer at Gold's when I
Oh.
worked there.
No, I haven't seen any of his stuff. I have no idea.
Oh, it's great. Just the words, and he uses big words. There's great where he's training Boyer Coe, the pro bodybuilder, and he goes, "Oh, we're off to an auspicious start." Boyer goes, "Oh, what kind of start?" He goes, "A good one."
I do not know him, but that's fine.
Oh, it's fucking gold. Plus, to know that the guy was just completely out there and a complete meth addict is fucking awesome.
Oh gosh.
Wait, who was a meth addict?
Mike Mensa,
Oh,
towards the end.
that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah, he's great though. He's great. Anyways, there was we're trying to think there was somebody, there's so many videos where people are like still trying to shuck guitars. I mean, are we done with that yet?
What are they trying to do?
That has
sell
been
guitars.
that has been on the decline. When I was at NAMM this past winter, there was, this past spring, there was a group of those common offenders. They all kind of work together. And there's a guy who is now. This is how big this industry is getting. By the way, there's a guy who's acting as like an agent for these YouTube influencers that have hundreds of thousands of followers. Anyway, there's a bunch of these guys who I was talking to them, and they're all saying, yeah, we're basically getting out of the review game because, like, over the last 2 years, you're just watching steadily decreasing return rate on reviews. People are seeing through it. They just don't give a shit anymore. So there you go. You get your wish.
Yeah. Oh,
Gonna
because
go
it's
away.
fucking terrible. Terrible. Like,
Well, yeah,
is this
because they're all the same.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is the best guitar you can get for under $1,000.
The
Oh my God.
playability and it's like, shut the fuck up.
The big thing is the cheap ass guitars they get off of Amazon,
Oh,
and then a month later the companies are just vanished.
Yeah.
So
Well, they sell it under a different name because they're trying to avoid all kinds of shenanigans.
Yeah, I
Still
remember
waiting for the-
Firefly was the biggest name for a while.
Firefly,
Yeah, Firefly,
Dawn.
like they're giving people the business.
Now they have
Keep
ear.
using that
You know
one.
what?
Hurt.
I'm still waiting for the Gladlands by Glary.
Squire's asking, what do I think of Rick Beato as a producer? I've never heard anything he produced. I got to be honest.
Landlands?
Did he produce anything that I would know?
Rick Beato?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know anything
Well,
he
he always
produced.
brings up his.
You know
he
what?
had
We
a-
talked about
produced some
producers a
big
couple
hit.
of weeks ago, and I thought there were some producers and I said Gary Katz should have been on that list. He's one of my favorite producers. I think Terry Date is a fantastic producer. The guy who produced, is it Keith something who works with Iron Maiden? Who's that guy?
Elson? No,
Keith?
No,
Something
Keith
to
Olson
produce
is an
anything?
old producer who did he's done a million things. No, this guy's name is Kevin something. I
Kevin
liked him a
Shirley?
lot. I loved Martin Birch.
Are you talking about Kevin
loved-
Shirley?
Kevin Shirley, thank you.
Okay. Surely you can't be serious.
And I loved Martin Birch. I mean, as far as a metal guy goes, like I never really cared for Max Norman, and
Yeah,
But
his sound isn't great. Like, for whatever reason, like Max Norman had something to do with Rust in Peace, but still, like it's
He
not
produced
a
it.
good sounding record.
right. In
It's
fact,
just
I
good
don't think he
because
got
it's
to a
ferocious.
good sound. Max Norman.
Yeah.
I thought the first good sounding Megadeth album he did was Euthanasia, which is his last one.
Yeah.
Nile Rodgers is awesome. I mean, I also really think David Foster is a great producer. Daniel Lanois is fantastic. I really like Daniel Lanois.
My
And,
favorite producers are those ones from Georgia. Who's that on my radio? Ooh.
Oh, you love the producers.
I do. love
Wayne
the producers.
Famous, and
such
that's a great band.
It's a really good album. I don't know about the rest of the band's catalog, but that record's good.
Yeah. Sheila's in my head. Fucking great.
Anybody
I love
else
that.
remember
too.
that?
You guys
Bellback?
remember the song She Sheila by the Producers? I also like their other song, What's He Got That I Ain't Got? He's got you. That's quite a lot. That's what he's got. Hey.
So what do we call that? Is that power pop? What would they?
Yeah, I mean,
call
that was like early 80s, like 81. God, there was so much good stuff then. 81's a great year. I'll tell you right now, one of my favorite producers is Reinhold Mack, who did The Game from Queen, and then he went on to do
Squire.
Billy Squire, Don't Say No.
Yeah. Well, that's a good sounding record. Did he
Yeah.
have anything to really do with that record? Because I feel like Billy probably did.
Oh, no, it was
A lot of
all
that work.
Reinhold Mack.
What's that?
Reinhold Mack is the whole sound of that record.
Drum sound.
Robbie
Hugh-
Robertson. Oh, that album's phenomenal, Hugh. That's one of my all-time favorite records.
Hugh Caldwell says Rick Beato annoys me.
Yeah.
Well, same here to an extent. It's like
I usually
Guy-
can't watch his videos because they're long-winded. I don't have the patience to watch an hour-long YouTube. I just don't.
I'm right there.
Guy
with you.
knows his stuff. He's a great player, but he can't teach worth a shit.
Yeah, I do have.
I
there
learned
was
something from him.
There's one YouTuber that it's funny. I've met the guy in person. He's a really nice guy. I had no problems, but I can't watch him.
Who?
Rhett Shull.
Oh God.
Can't
Oh, I
watch
can't
Rhett
stomach
Shull.
him.
You know, it's funny. If you met him in person, you'd probably like him, DL.
Oh,
But
when I say I can't stomach him, I mean I can't stomach his channel.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's really funny because it comes across to me like he's one of those guys that fancies himself an expert, but when I watch him, I don't buy it.
Right. I agree with that.
There's a smugness to his approach. And I
Yeah.
don't think it's intentional.
Perfect word.
Yeah. And
Hey,
also,
Dave, I'm looking at-
he sucks
And
the
you know
ass
what?
of every company.
And yeah, exactly. Let me say something really quick because I was watching his videos for a while, and the only amp you'll ever need, and I'm like $5,000. It better be the only fucking amp I ever need. It'll be the only one I could ever afford.
Yeah, and where the
And
problem is with those guys is that 3 weeks later, there's another video about the only amp you'll ever need.
Right.
That's
I was
what
just going to
these
say,
fucking pedal guys do that. You know, get the fuck out.
I mean, Larry Carlton made a career playing as Princeton. You can go play with any fucking thing. Everything sounds good. Fucking, let me tell you, what's his name? Greg Koch. You put Koch on a Squire, and you've got a gender on a Squire now. No, you put
What's this about Cock and Billy Squire? What?
and a Fender. I don't care. What's the cheesy amp called? The one that comes in the Squire pack.
Oh,
The front man.
The performer.
The front man.
okay.
You put Greg Koch on that, he could go and cut any fucking track he wanted with that. It's going to sound great. You know, people are going to be like, "Oh, that's a
There's truth to that.
oh, yeah, 100%." And then people are going to sit there and say, "Man, that thing sounds great." Then they're going to buy it and go, "Fuck, I'm still me," because that's what
That's
everybody
right.
does, anyways.
That's right.
That's what everybody does. Like you can go hear somebody play a dual rectifier and you go, "Oh man, I love that." Then you go play it and you're like, "Fuck, I'm still me. I still can't play." Like it doesn't matter what you get. And so it doesn't matter at that point. Just get something that you're going to work on, play comfortably with. And like Joe bought the Boss Katana, I believe.
Right there.
Okay.
I've got one.
That amp
too.
is a fine amp for
Beautiful.
anybody who
Very
wants to
good.
sit
Very
around
good
and
amp.
room play and work out shit and play and have fun. That amp will do
I gig
everything
with
you
it.
want it to do.
Literally,
Yeah, you can,
any
you can do
fucking
anything you
style.
want with it.
Any style.
My point is it doesn't matter when somebody goes out and like anytime I've gone to hear somebody play, and I've had guys come up to me and they're like, "Dude, I got to show you the pedal I've been using," and I'm sitting there in my mind going, "Yeah, you got to show me because you sound terrible." And then I go look and it's the pedal that I have, and I'm like, "Yeah, I know how to play this thing, and you don't." And I'm not trying to sound like I'm tugging on my shoulders, but it doesn't matter what they're playing. And I've seen other guys where I'm like, I go look at their board and they're using a fucking tube screamer that looks like it's being held by clothespins. You know what I mean? It's like it's on its last leg and they sound fantastic. It doesn't fucking matter. All what matters is who's the person playing it. But these guys like Rhett, you know, it's all about like, oh, this is a great piece of gear. You know, it's like everything's great and everything sucks. Depends on your mood.
You got to look at all of these guys and their affiliate links. That's all
Right.
you
Exactly,
need to know,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
That was funny. I was listening to it.
I mean, I'm in that business. You know,
Yeah.
you guys know that. This is not a surprise. And
Yeah.
for me being in that business,
But you're in what? You're in what? That
said, I'm in-
business.
what's that?
You're in that
In
show
the
business.
Is
I'm
it
in the
your
show business. No, but I mean, even me, like anytime we're sending something out that's going to go to somebody that's got the paid promotion thing on their screen and it's a review, I figure it's going to get it's going to get 20,000 views. It's not going to move. It's not going to move anything. But what it'll do is it'll provide information for somebody that's interested in it that wants to watch a video.
Yeah.
I don't think it moves. I don't think it moves units.
Yeah, I mean, I would say
it used to.
probably.
It used to.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Well, I just think people they go down that road and they find out pretty fast that it's like, I mean, especially when you go on Facebook and look at Marketplace, every new guitar is out there being sold used. Somebody bought it and hated it. Somebody bought it and didn't like it, or somebody bought it, watched a review. And it's all the same old shit. Like, you remember when I think me and you were talking about a guitar once on my show. It was about some new Fenders, and neither one of you and I played it, John. And somebody in the comments said, you guys you shouldn't have to, you have a comment on it. You can't talk about it because you guys haven't played it. And I'm like, you clueless fucking mutt. Do you remember that, John? I don't know if you saw that comment, but I'm like, how clueless are you that you think that Fender could come to me and tell me what the product is, give me the specs, and I could tell you right away if I would play it, if I would like it, what it would play like. I could tell you everything about it. Right. What are you gonna tell me that the frets are gonna last? How can I tell that from playing something for 2 seconds? Am I gonna tell you that the jack is gonna fall off? Again, I'm playing something for 2 seconds. So I could see when Fender comes out with, I could tell you what it's gonna feel like just by reading the specs.
Sure.
There's nothing new out there. You know, there's nothing exciting. And what could be exciting? We're talking about an instrument that we all play. Could you imagine in the piano world? By the way, there is a toy that I do want. It's the new Fender Rhodes. That is something I want. That's a hot keyboard. But aside from that, could you imagine if in the keyboard world they said, we have a new acoustic piano and the action, and they start talking about it like, okay, and they're selling it, somewhere between a C7 and a Steinway. Big fuck. All right, well, you're going to play it, you're going to dig it, or you're not going to dig it. But after a while, you realize a piano's a piano. Sometimes the action's going to change from, someone could say it's a light action. It feels like a Steinway action. It feels like it sounds like a Bosen, whatever it is. Somebody could describe it to you in 2 seconds. You're not going to have to go play it to know what it sounds like. Or you might want to still play it, but you're not going to have to play it to know.
Sure.
So, but in the guitar world, it's like everyone is like, oh no, this thing's good. Like,
the thing that's cool about it though is that there is so much shit out there that, in spite of all these guys talking about it and trying to guide you toward their affiliate links, if you do want to get a new flanger pedal like me, I've got, I don't know, a half a dozen flanger pedals for some stupid reason. Yeah. I bought another one the other day, and it's great. Did
you buy the Andy Summers one?
No, I just got the MXR micro flanger.
Oh, okay. Have you seen the Electro Harmonics Andy Summers?
No.
So Andy Summers, during his career, and John, you know this very well because both of us owned this pedal at one point, played the Electric Mistress.
Yes, the Buick-sized one.
You and I both bought one circa 2007. We both had them. We both played them. We know what they do. That is the pedal Andy Summers played. And now Electro Harmonics came out with the Andy Summers flanger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's different from this than the Electric Mistress that he used? I don't know. But for some reason, Tim Pierce did a video. This is the best flanger, or the must-own flanger. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
I didn't even know this was out.
Yeah.
I will watch a demo on this, and I will probably buy one.
Because if you love flanges.
I like flangers. I don't know why, but that's like my favorite effect.
That's what Josh Scott likes too.
And I rarely use it for the actual like airplane flangers or jet flangers.
You use it as a chorus.
100%.
Yeah, totally.
I think
it's a prettier chorus.
Flanger as a chorus sounds better than any chorus pedal I've ever played.
Right, and that's what Andy Summers used it as. That's his whole chorus was that flanger.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear it. My guess is that it will probably not have the noise of the old Buick size one.
Right.
Probably won't have the volume loss of the old one, but it probably also won't sound the same.
Well, I think what they tried to do was try to keep his tone that he got out of the Electric Mistress after being processed, because you don't really know when you're listening to those records what the before sound sounded like in the before time.
in the before time. That's right.
That's Cartman.
The should
In the before time.
Who was I listening to the other day? Rick Beato. Thank goodness for Rick Beato this time around. I don't know if you guys saw that thing he did with Petrucci and Tosin Abasi and
Yeah.
Devin Townsend, but there was an excerpt in there where he was talking about the guitar tone, and he was leaning really heavy on the fact that there's always an element that your guitar amp is not giving you, and people that are chasing sounds, trying to sound exactly like Eddie Van Halen or John Petrucci, he was really leaning on the fact that you have to remember that they're using a compression and an EQ component on the mixing board way after the signal. Forget about the fact that you don't have these guys' fingers, but you'll never have that unless you have that board and this and that. And it was actually a very honest moment, and I thought it was very cool that he did that, because people need to hear that shit.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing people don't realize is because they're listening to a mix, and when they listen to the mix, they're hearing a lot of the bass adding to the guitar, becoming one.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I ever hear somebody playing like an amp, I'm always like, man, and I play bright and they play dark. And then I'm like, go listen to the isolated tracks. And if you go listen to the isolated tracks, you'll be surprised that they EQ the piss out of the guitar to the bright land, because
100%.
Otherwise you aren't going to be heard.
I'll be very nerdy right now, and you know this already, but that's just something else he was talking about. They always cut around 80 to 100 hertz. They always cut it. You cut that off so that there's room for the kick drum and the bass drum, and they always
absolutely you have to.
And they always bump it at like 33 to 3500 for that top end sort of
the sizzle.
Right, but if you play a guitar with a big boost in your 3500 alone in a room, you're gonna hate it.
You're going to hate it. And yeah. I'll sit there. When I used to play with my band, people would play my rig before. They'll come up to me and talk to me and feel like, man, your sound is bright. I go, yeah, I'm playing it without the band. When the band kicks in and you hear the keyboards got that high to mid, and then you get the bass coming up and the drums. And then when the band played, they were like, wow, the separation was great. You could hear everything. I'm like, yeah. And I don't sound so bright anymore. But yeah, people don't realize about EQ and about, like everyone has this dream sound. And they don't hear it. They're not realize. I always tell everyone, go look up some isolated guitar tracks, and you're going to be surprised at how thin they thin out everything. And these guys who go in there and meanwhile, you're miking everything with mainly a 57, which doesn't have any bottom anyways. It blows out at 50 hertz, cuts out. So you're not getting anything below 50 anyways, and then they're chopping more of that off.
Yeah. But it's just so disingenuous when people are like, "Oh, we recreated the Van Halen sound." It's like, oh, God.
Oh yeah. I mean, it never sounds like Van Halen to me, and it's like, again, you want to sound like Van Halen, take lessons. You want to sound like David Gilmour, take lessons. Spend time playing. If you can play, you can play. Any player that can play decent can play like any of those, can imitate any of those guys in a good and close enough for rock and roll type of thing. But it's like when they sit there and they're like, here's how you can sound like Tony Iommi on a budget. I'd like to see that, because it's like, if that's the sound, because I go in a Guitar Center once every year and I hear some kid playing Iommi riffs. He doesn't sound like Iommi on a budget.
How to sound like fill in the blank without breaking the bank.
Who did the engineering on that second Dio Sabbath record? Was that Martin Birch?
Well, Birch is the producer. I don't know who his first engineer is.
What's the name of the second one? Mob Rules?
Yeah.
The guitar sound on Mob Rules stinks.
Not as good.
It's super woofy.
It's you know what it sounds like? It sounds like a wah that's cocked.
Yeah, but it's cocked like back.
Yes. Yeah, no, I hate that sound too. And I'll tell you who else. You know what's funny is when you sit there and you talk about either early Judas Priest or what was another band I was listening to? But if you listen to early Judas Priest and you listen to Delivering the Goods, Killing Machine. Is that the name of the album? Hellbent for Leather, whatever that record was called that had Hellbent for Leather. Listen to that record. Listen to the guitar tone. Go to the next record and listen to Living After Midnight and listen to that guitar tone. You talk about a woofy sound of a Marshall, the way that everybody plays it. And then when you listen to the British Steel album, you listen to it EQ'd properly by a producer that's like, yeah, fuck you. And I think it's the same producer, but they had to wake up. And you could look at almost the same thing with AC/DC. Listen to early AC/DC, the guitar tone, and then listen to the guitar tone when Mutt Lange got a hold of it and how excited it was and how it jumps out at you. You know, you can clearly, it's the same amp and same guitar, but not the same sound.
Right.
What's translating onto tape.
That's always so funny about all these people. Oh, I'm going to get the Iommi sound. What record?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And do you really want the Iommi sound? Because I bet you if you were like, oh, this sounds exactly like, Sweet Leaf, you'd probably hate it in the room.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's really not that good. It'd be like me chasing an Alex Lifeson sound. I love Rush.
Yeah, what was he playing too? He was playing a Laney, and then he had the treble booster. I think it's a Laney, the first 3 Sabbath records. I think it's a Laney, and I think he's using a Dallas Arbiter treble booster to drive the front of it.
I know I've seen him with an orange in a video once for the Paranoid video. I don't know if he ever used that on an album.
Let There Be Rock. Yeah, but the guitar tone, if you listen to the guitar tone on Let There Be Rock, even the guitar tone on the live album's better. The If You Want Blood is better than the recorded version. And same with early Kiss. Like the first Kiss record, those songs on Kiss Alive sound so much clearer because Eddie Kramer, who I'm not a big fan of, as John knows, but and the reason I say that is because Eddie Kramer did a couple of clinics for us at West LA. And anytime anyone had any questions, he would always want to talk about Hendrix, who he engineered for, and Led Zeppelin, who he engineered for. But he never wanted to talk about Kiss because he never wanted to take any credit.
That's really funny.
Yeah. And to me, it wasn't like, I mean, I think Andy Johns did some of the bigger Zeppelin stuff, the good sounding stuff anyways. I'm not a big Eddie Kramer fan. What can I tell you? He's not going to make my list.
Did you guys see that Orange dropped a new amp this week called the OR30?
No.
Yeah.
A quad of EL84s. But the thing I thought was the funniest thing about it, I was watching the Sweetwater video on it, and they've got Nick Baucott, who's like a very nice guy and a very bad
great guy
player. Terrible player. Terrible.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, he was the guitar player in Grim Reaper.
See you in hell, my friend.
So funny to watch the video. But I know how the shtick works. It's none of this is Nick's opinion. All of this is Nick being fed marketing material, and then he spits it out in his own words.
Oh yeah. And what was the
the first Orange amplifier and however many years? It's now a new amazing feature. It's got a 3-position bright switch. This is the thing that they're pushing out there. It's got a bright switch on it.
Right.
Dual coil pickups.
Can you believe it?
And he used to work for Marshall back when we when we were at West LA. He was at Marshall, and then I seen he's at Sweetwater now, right?
Yeah, he's been doing the Sweetwater videos. Anytime they want to bring out like somebody to demo the heavy metal stuff, they bring out Nick. And then you listen to him play and you're like, where can I go to hear somebody that can play metal? I got to get off this video and go watch Ola England, who can actually play it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad. But
I can't say I was ever a Grim Reaper fan. I always found it comical, but there was a market for it at one point. What?
Was anybody?
Oh, I think yeah, I don't know. I think they might have been bigger in England. How big was anyone who is from England in the chat? How big was Grim Reaper in England?
I'm curious.
I mean, See You in Hell. I had that record, and I was like, geez, if I listen to this record
The
again,
video,
that's where I'm going.
the singer
This
looked
is
like a
painful.
fat, toothless Joe Elliott. And he was
Hugh
wearing a
Caldwell
Union
says
Jack
not
shirt.
very big. I'll tell you what I watched the other day, guys. If you get a chance, if you're a Thin Lizzy fan or a Tin Lizzy fan, it was before he passed, obviously, because he's not going to play dead. Gary Moore and Brian Robertson playing Thin Lizzy songs with Gary Moore singing. Oh, it's fucking great. Gary Moore does a great Phil Lynott. Yeah.
Send me
it's
that.
great. Yeah, I'll send you the link. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
put it in chat.
They do. Let me see if I can find it. They do Cowboys song, and they do. There's 3 songs.
That's the best.
Yeah, Emerald. I think no, Black Rose.
Okay. Yeah, Black Rose is great.
I think this.
It's so absurd, which is why it's great. This orange OR30, the advertising, the pitch, like the headline on the orange the orange website is the amp that has it all. So you'd think this is a very full-featured amplifier, but really it's just a 30-watt single-channel amplifier, and it's got a 3-position bright switch on it, and that's it.
It's Scott Gorham. I'm sorry, Scott Gorham. It's in the chat now. It's Gary Moore and Scott Gorham.
Scott Gorham. Oh, and DL, this thing's got a 5 AR4 rectifier tube. I much prefer a 5 AU4.
Oh, God.
A rectum fryer.
I wouldn't know a fucking rectifier if the fucking thing hit me in the head.
That's so funny.
Somebody asked me once, what do you think's better in a combo? Should I get the dual or the single rectifier? I'm like, do you need both rectifiers? Are you going to switch them? Because what else is the fucking difference? A 2-channel? Oh, how many channels is this thing? 2? Yeah, it's 2-channel.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I saw that, Hannah Bomb, but that's not the one that I was... that's a different video where they do Emerald. The rectum fryer, yeah.
Emerald.
Like I said, it's always been a good amp to me, but it's not my favorite. I think if I ended up dumping any of these amps, I'd get a Bogner Shiva.
Shiva's a good one.
Yeah, I think it's the best Bogner. For me, anyways.
I've had almost all of them at this point because I've got a problem. Let's see. I've had the Shiva, I've had the Goldfinger 90 and the 45.
I remember when you had the Goldfinger.
Had the Ecstasy. I've never had an Uber shawl, but Jorg let me borrow one, so I got to play one for a weekend and just didn't jive with it.
Yeah, I don't love it. I think the Shiva's a great... What did you think of the Shiva when you had it? And which one did you have?
I think the Shiva EL34s, the 80-watt one.
Yeah.
With reverb. I think the Shiva and the Goldfinger 45 are my 2 favorites from him.
Yeah.
And they're drastically different. If I had to choose one and I wasn't trying to specialize, I would get the Shiva.
Yeah.
But the Goldfinger 45 has the best clean tone. The best clean tone you'll ever play.
On the Goldfinger?
The 45, 100%.
Wow.
The best clean tone you'll ever play. Well, it's got your preferred power tube.
6v6.
Yeah, it's a quad of 6v6s, and it's just glorious. It's unbelievable, and the reverb is incredible too. But the dirty channel is it'll get you to a crunch, but that's it. You can't really,
it's an overdrive.
Shiva will let you do more. Yeah.
Yeah. Shiva to me is like what I think people think that Marshalls do. I think the Shiva does better. It's a cleaner distortion. It doesn't have that like tube screamery compressed distortion. And the clean is as good as any Fender amp.
Yeah.
I wish I could find that video of that guy that owned an Uber shawl and he was playing a rock axe through it. Right? Just this cheap guitar he couldn't play, and all the knobs are like all bassed out and stuff and sound like shit. And he goes, "This is my Uber shawl," and he's going, brr, brr. I can't find it anywhere. It's the funniest fucking thing.
I haven't seen that. I love the idea.
Like, this is like 10, 13 years ago, I think.
But when you played,
Slick Shocker said I worked with Nick at Korg Marshall. I think he's a super sweet guy.
yeah. Oh,
How'd you get on with him?
Did you work with Nick over at Marshall? Was he already gone? Oh no, he was at Marshall.
I never worked for Marshall.
You worked with Korg.
Yeah, but that was after Korg was their Marshall distribution a few years before I was there.
Oh,
That's why they were
okay.
doing Black Star. So it was Vox and Black Star.
Right.
That Black Star stuff doesn't turn me on.
Oh, crap.
yeah.
We can talk about amps that sound good, and yeah, I'm sure good players can make it sound good, but I can't.
I was just gonna say I did a show with a guy and he made it sound pretty good.
Yeah.
He was saying he went to a Mets game too. Nice.
That's cool.
I found it. I'll post it in chat.
So, Bingham, when you played your JVM there, what did you think of the clean sounds on it? Did you play clean through it?
Yeah, I tried all of the stuff. It was.
Because I think Marshall has a much better clean than people give it credit for. Nobody ever really talks about a Marshall clean. It's always Fender clean, Marshall gain. I think the Marshall clean is excellent.
It depends. Yeah, I mean, it all depends. I didn't like it on this amp because I think like when you find like, okay, so talking about like headroom and compression, like you always find a center point where the amp has like the most amount of power, least amount of compression, and you can say, okay, there it is. That's like as loud as this amp is going to get is going to be in this particular channel or this particular mode. And in the case of the JVM, it was like the crunch channel. The crunch channel was clearly really freaking loud and powerful and didn't have a lot of compression. But the way they built that amp, it's like, okay, you start there. That's like your sound platform. You add compression and add gain to go higher gain. And you'll notice right away that like with the volume settings, it's quieter because it's more compressed. But the same thing happened with the clean channel on that amp, because I think what they were doing is they were cutting off something in order to keep it really clean. And so the clean channel to me felt like it was too quiet, didn't punch as hard. It was just sort of it was sort of
it was tame.
Yeah, they it's like they tamed it to get there.
Right.
So it wasn't great.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. The
well, I've heard bad things about the JVM stuff. I mean, I hear that it's definitely not one of the best of Marshall's era amps.
Yeah, no, it didn't really turn me on. But to be honest, I've had a lot of Marshalls now. I've never had a 2203.
Yeah.
But I've had a lot of them, and I don't think I've ever connected with one where I've been like, I'm going to keep this for any longer than 2 or 3 months. Like,
yeah.
They're just, they're not interesting. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm with you on them.
I feel much better. The one that I have right now that I really like, I've been gigging with it, is my EVH. I got an EVH 100 watt.
Yeah.
I think I've had that for a couple weeks now. It's probably on this channel before. Dude. That thing, like, I mean, we're talking like a high production, nothing special amp, and it sounds great.
Yeah.
Super great. The second channel on it is dynamite.
Huh.
Like, it's funny too, because like all of the guys out there who are, I only play hand wired. I'll only play a reissue Gibson with a bone nut. No Corian for me. Right? It's the same thing with this hand wired versus PC board thing. It's like
it doesn't make a fucking difference unless you have to work on it.
Right. 100%.
That's the only difference. I mean, if you're an amp repair guy and you're going to go into the amp, yeah, you'd rather work on a hand wired because you can get to everything and not have to deal in a small confined space.
Well,
but as a player, you can't.
If you like Ingve and want that brass nut, you run the chance of breaking strings if there's any sharp edges on it.
Man,
has to be.
All these builders are trying to sell the mystique that the point-to-point makes it sound better. It's not true. That EVH 100-watt is one of the best sounding high gain amps I've ever had, ever.
Yeah, point to point is just more reliable. That's all.
Not only that, it's so circuit board based that even the pots are on a circuit board.
Yeah,
Like, you
that's a
know,
nightmare.
you remember Mesa Boogie used to advertise the flying leads where they have, you know, just leads coming off all the movable hardware components so that they weren't based on a board. And they, you know, people think, oh, well, that's easier to repair. It's also more durable, blah, 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 all that shit. Well, this Fender thing, you know, this EVH thing, it's an enormous circuit board with every single component on it, including the pots, including the tube sockets.
Right.
And
That's what What's It Called did.
As much as I want to not like it, that second channel is like the best sounding Marshall, you know, modded Marshall sound I've ever had in an amplifier.
Well, I think it's the 2203 post 1985 is that way as well, where all the pots were onto the. That's why people don't like the input jacks and the pots are right on the board. Still a great fucking amp.
I think maybe like repair guys somehow have got the ear of people, so they don't like it because if they have to replace a part, they have to unscrew all of the controls so they can get the board out. It becomes a hassle to fix it, right?
Yeah, that's why I said if you're a repair guy, it matters.
Yeah, but it really doesn't. It's probably much more reliable to just do it that way. But
well,
yeah, I gotta say, after all these years of spending shitloads of money on amplifiers, like it's kind of funny to be sitting on top of a couple of mass-produced amps and being like, "Yeah, these sound really good."
Yeah. It doesn't matter. That shit doesn't matter. It's whether it sounds good or not. You know how it's designed. But I mean, it's all the Fender shit today is all mass produced. I mean, you buy a Princeton Reverb, it's fucking, you know, mass produced, and the Deluxe Reverb, all those blackface amps are all mass produced fucking circuit boards. They still sound great though.
And you have the people that claim that the 6505 sounded different than the 5150.
I gotta say, I'm watching a video
Eddie Van Halen left PV
that came on last week, and it was from a couple of years ago when Chapman was still working with the Captain, and they were doing a blind test of what amp he was playing, and he was playing one of the amps was that modeling amp that Fender made that looks like a Deluxe Reverb.
Oh, the Cyber.
No, the Tone. It's called the Tone something.
Tone Master.
Tone Master.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going.
And it's like these fucking guys are saying, this is really great, because they're in the sales game. It's $100 less than the real amp. Yet the thing weighs an ounce, and it was supposed to be like it should have been $400. At $499, that's a really cool idea. At $999, when the original amp is $1099, you're fucking retarded.
Retarded.
Seriously.
What is the? I've never had my hands on one of those. I don't think it's. Oh shit! It is modeling. I'm looking at it right now.
It just models one amp. It does one thing. It does the amp that they make it look like.
Oh, I didn't realize it was modeling. I thought it was like the Black Star St. James, where they were doing like a tube preamp paired with a Class D power amp to reduce the weight. I didn't realize it was modeled.
It's just a modeling amp in the same chassis, and they're selling it like $100-$200 less than the tube amp.
That's so weird. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I didn't realize that about this series. Huh. So you're paying $1,100 for a singular model.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's a way you could spin it to make it sound good. I don't think there's a way you could spin it to make it sound it's worth that price.
I've got so many questions about this now. I feel like I need to start doing some research. I had no idea. So is it powered? I mean, there's no big heavy transformers in the back of it. Is it Class D power?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
It's Class D, of course. It's a modeling amp.
Okay, so it's Class D. Does it have Okay, it's the Jensen C10R for the Princeton reverb. That's the same speaker that they put in the other one, I think, the 10-inch ceramic magnet. What the hell?
Rick Grimes is asking. He said he always thought Mutt Lang slowed AC/DC down. I think I tend to think they got older, and as you mature, Highway to Hell was probably a more evenly paced album. I probably think I don't think it's Mutt Lang really. They already had some of the songs for that album anyways because they were working with Eddie Kramer first on Highway to Hell.
So,
but yeah, John, it's nuts, isn't it? And for that price, they were out of their minds.
Enjoy full natural tone at almost any volume, from a full 12 watts of Fender power down to bedroom. 12 watts, huh? Class D 12 watts. I wonder what it actually is, because if it's Class D, it's going to be some absurd. It's going to be a little tiny chip that actually is like a 50-watt amplifier, and they're just choking it back.
Right.
Or they're just letting it run at 50 watts because, they need the headroom to make it compete with a 12-watt amp, and they're just lying about it.
Yeah, I just don't see a place in the marketplace where somebody says like, you know what? I could have the real amp for $100 more, but instead, let me get this modeling amp that does one sound from this amp.
This is hilarious. By the way, what I just said, I just clicked over to the specs page, and it says in the electronics part, it says 50 watts into 8 ohms. And then in parentheses, it says simulates 12-watt tube amp performance. Hilarious.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I don't get it. I've played I'd actually love to play one of these.
What amp is it that you're looking at that says 12? Is that a Princeton version of it?
Princeton, yeah, the Tone Master.
Is it a 70s or a blackface Princeton?
It's a Shabusiness face. The blackface.
Really? I thought a blackface was 15 watts. It's 12. I know the 70s one is 12 watts. I always thought the blackface was 15. And if I went to go to Bob Taylor and wanted to talk about acoustic guitars, would he give me the Taylor Shabusiness? That's the girl's name.
Oh. He would send you to Andy Powers to talk about
Taylor Shabusiness.
Let's see. Princeton Reverb.
I always thought it was a 15-watt amp. I know the 70s is a 12.
65 Princeton Reverb, which is the reissue they've been running for years.
Yeah.
Well, it says 12 watts.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I know the 70s is 12 watts.
And it's gone up in price. This is quite a bit more. It's not $100 more.
How much is it now?
It's $13.99. So,
and how
the
much
other
is
one's
the
$9.49. So $400.
Oh, so one went up, one went down. Actually, I think I only knew the deluxe reverb one, and they were $100 apart, $10.99, $11.99. But that might have changed too. And I mean, it's 3 years old now.
I'm gonna upset some people in the audience out there, but I think the Princeton compared to a deluxe reverb is a far superior amp.
Oh, it completely is.
Okay.
The Princeton is a way better. I don't like the deluxe so much.
So weird.
Yeah.
Hanoi Bomb just said, is it light because of a Neo magnet? He's talking about the Tone Master. That's the thing that's weird about this. They're taking all this weight off and everything, but it's not a Neo magnet. It's this C10R, the standard.
Yeah, because all you got is a box with a speaker. I mean, what else? What do you think that head is going to weigh?
Yeah, not much.
Modeling one fucking amp?
Yeah, it's really weird.
Like I said, when I saw that, I was like, that's really odd. Like, what's the value? Again, if it was $499, I see the value. You're getting half price for the same look, be able to go on stage and play it. But we're talking about a few $100. I don't see it.
All right, I'll be right back. I got to move my car. I just realized I parked halfway out. My wife can't get in.
All right, very good.
For me right now, because she, I can keep her away. I'm going to go give her the Shabusiness. I'll be right back.
All right. the Taylor business here. Hold on, let me pull him out. Where is he? All right. All right, Joe, you had messaged me earlier. I went to China for a Devo helmet. It's the largest. RL's in the chat, everybody. And he's doing his Jesse the Body Ventura. I went to China to buy it's the largest flag in North America.
I like the way he spelled helmet. That was almost my name. My name was almost Helmet.
Really?
Yeah, my mother was German. My father's
Well,
like,
if your
no,
mother knew your hair
no.
was going to be like this at 55, she
Helmet
should have
head.
named you Helmet.
Helmet head.
You ever use I want to ask a carnivore question. You ever get any beef gelatin powder?
Me, no.
No.
I eat very basic. I don't do any I don't even care what I'm eating. I'm eating like bacon, burger, chicken, and I don't even care. Actually, I picked up some steaks today. This woman, when I'm buying steaks, she's like, "Ooh, you having a barbecue?" I'm like, every day. She goes,
Every
yeah.
day.
Meanwhile, she had like a hand cart that you walk that was just packed with like ribs, steaks, chicken. I go, looks like you're having the party. She's like, summer comes and I ain't cooking in the house.
I got some steak tips today.
And then I
Big
introduced
boy.
myself. I said, how you doing? I'm LaDavid.
The David from Dietary. Dietary the David.
LaDavid.
I came up with a different way of making eggs.
Yeah, and that's what Hanoi. That's why I got it, because I've been eating these Egg Life egg wraps, and I'm like,
Yep.
I can make my own. What do I do? So one on YouTube, and there's like they have the one you make with almond flour. I'm like, no, I want to do carnivore, and I saw you can do it with beef gelatin. Now I made it tonight without. You'll see on my later on when you go check your Instagram, you'll see my story and my reel.
Oh, nice.
I almost canceled the order from Amazon for the beef gelatin because they were amazing. Just
really?
regular egg, yeah.
It comes in handy for other things, though. Anyways, when I make my eggs, right, I crack like 4 eggs in a pan in butter, and I cook it, and they're all sunny side up. And I'll take whatever cheese I'm using, and I put a few slices on there. When that's cooking, I'll flip it, and I'll turn the heat up, and I'll caramelize the cheese, and just make sure to keep the eggs right. So, oh my God, it's so good doing it that way.
Sounds good.
Dude, I'm making bacon and eggs, guys. I'm just eating the most boring. You guys would be hanging yourselves after a day.
I have the same thing every damn day.
Mind you, I'm not
those
carnivore,
sausages.
but I make a
God,
lot
I
of
love
carnivore
those
dishes.
sausages that I found at Sam's.
Yeah.
Oh, I have I have one meal a day. It's 4 of them with the wraps and a little of my cream cheese spread. Done.
Oh yeah, I know I mentioned this to Dave, but yeah, I've been doing the OMAD for a week and a half. It's working out pretty fine.
The old mad diet does what it does. It indoctrinates you.
Fucking show indoctrinates you.
You ever have eggs on a simple tortilla?
As opposed to a complex.
We've gotten everyone in this chat that tried carnivore except for Hugh.
Eh?
No, Hugh does carnivore. Me? Nothing. Just hanging around.
Hanging around.
Oh, look at that. RL's in the chat.
He is. RL wanted to talk to you real quickly about the two-party system.
Indoctrinates.
That's funny.
You got to shake your head when you start saying that.
Let me put the king to bed before we start fucking with lists.
All right, very good.
What are we doing? Going into lists?
Now when we go on the
Lists
our
time?
list of the evening, yeah.
Book a list.
RL, you ever have eggs? RL loves that fucking Jesse the Body Ventura bit. Have you seen that?
No.
Did I send it to you, John?
Go for it.
Didn't I send it to you? It's Will Sasso on.
Maybe.
And he's doing.
I don't know.
Oh my God, his fucking.
Will Sasso's really funny.
Oh, Chet Walters.
Huh.
You're damn straight. He's funny.
He's in Louder Milk too. which is
Yeah,
great.
see, we talked about him before. I can't. Hold on. Let me put this up here. Let me find the Jesse the Body Ventura. 15 minutes of.
can't
Friggin'
believe
Brian
these
Regan's character in that
Masters.
friggin'
Wow.
show. We're gonna go in my van.
All right, guys. If you haven't seen this, I'm going to share this in the chat. It's a must watch. Look at RL saying Sasso's on Loudermilk. That right there, there's the link in the chat. That right there is fucking comedy gold.
Oh, it's 15 minutes of Will Sasso doing it. I don't think I got through all 15 minutes. I was watching it and laughing, but I didn't spend 15
I'm
minutes.
in the Baja.
Is he married to Nicole Sullivan?
I don't even know who
That was,
Nicole Sullivan
the girl-
is.
That was the girl, the blonde girl on Mad TV.
Well, he was on Mad TV,
Yeah.
but I don't know who she is. Pancho Villa. Squire, you're in San Diego?
That's so funny.
I'm
Who's
in the
Nicole
Baja. Oh,
Sullivan?
that's what I said. I don't know who she is. I don't know Mad TV.
He's not looking too good these days.
Who's that?
Oh, that Nicole Sullivan.
Don't
He's
know who
always
she
kind
is.
of anyway.
Mad TV was. I've been making pepperoni infused.
No, she's married to actor Jason Packham.
Oh, she's on a bunch of stuff. No, she's not married. Arel, see the shirt? I figured you'd enjoy that shirt, Arel.
Mm.
Nicole
DL, you sort
Sullivan.
of blew you blew my whole night open with this Tone Master thing. I just had no
What?
idea.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous concept of let's make an amp that looks like it, but is a modeling of it.
Yeah, I
And
just
for
thought
what?
it was the power amp. I didn't realize that everything was modeled.
Oh,
That's
it's a cheap amp.
Yeah. It's so weird. I wonder if it's made in the Mexico factory or if it's like made in China or something.
Absolutely not. It's got to be made in China. The point is that thing has to cost them about $100 to manufacture.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Perhaps.
Would not surprise me.
Yeah. That's for
Cabinet.
you.
Oh, so I'm looking right now at the Tone Master Super Reverb. Lightweight Meranti plywood. What the hell is Meranti?
Oh, it's not made from oven call.
I think that's Italian for particle board.
Right?
Meranti plywood. Particle board.
Anytime you get like these funky names, they trying to find cheaper ways to, make birch plywood, so they use some sub material that's no good.
Does it say where it's made?
I haven't looked at that yet. I got sidetracked by Meranti plywood.
Where is Fender Tone Master made?
I kind of wouldn't be surprised if it was still made in Mexico. Because it's not like they're
Mexico.
They're not demanding high labor dollars down there, and they have their factory already. So
Yeah, it says Mexico.
yeah, I think what's probably happening is the PC boards are probably stuffed and soldered together overseas, and they just ship it over.
Yep,
and they
totally
assemble the whole thing down there.
Exactly. There's no way that brain isn't coming from China.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. That is so wild. All right.
Fender response to complaints that the Tone Master amps cost too much.
Oh, is that a thing? Is that an
They
article?
say, we'll charge what we want.
Made in China or Mexico with Chinese parts? I'm trying to see what Fender's response was.
I'm pretty sure all parts are Chinese now.
The
I mean,
problem with
Thread
all
says
these
something as well.
The problem with all this crap online is that you're going to always get these guys that are like, "Can you tell the difference? We're doing an A/B," and you can't feel it. All you can do is hear
You can't
the
mess with
audio
the
of it.
dials.
And the audio, yeah, model away. Modeling works. It's great. For
Yeah,
the
I have
audio,
no
but
look. I have
get
no
in the
problem
room
with the
with it.
premise. I have no problem with the premise. If the amp was cheaper, I would even consider buying it. If it was $400, I'd be like, wow, $399. That's really worth it for a Princeton little copy for me to schlep around and putz around with. But for $100 or $200 less than the actual Princeton, you got to be out of your fucking mind.
Right.
I play a Fender Mustang I bought for $100. I'm sure it has more sounds and better sounds. You know?
It's a real. It's got me. Yeah, how do they? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I got
That's
that.
them.
I don't know. You probably
Can you
can't see it.
imagine if Marshall ever tried that?
That Mark 525. That's my lightweight amp.
Yeah, sounds. I mean, it's only 16 pounds. That's nuts.
Yeah.
You know? Wait a minute.
It's tiny, but it's not a tiny price. Wow, that's $2,000, huh?
What's that?
The
Mark 5?
Mark 525.
Yeah.
Typical.
I think they make a 50 too, right? They make a Mark
It's got a
550
speaker out,
also.
does it? Does it have
they make a
speaker
Mark
out?
535. I don't think they make a 50.
I don't.
I don't think so.
Does it have a speaker out?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
How else would you use it?
Yeah, I know. That's I just wanted to ask. It's like I know some amps don't have a speaker out in the small combos.
Oh, this isn't a combo. It's a head.
Oh, you're talking about the head. I was looking at the combo.
Oh, I was thinking of the Express.
Oh, gotcha.
They had a 25 and a 50,
Yeah.
a 525 and a 550.
That combo's kind of cute.
Is that a 10-inch speaker in the combo? I'm asking all the questions that
yes.
RL's not brave enough to ask.
Oh, they
Okay,
all
blah, blah,
make a
blah,
90 watt
25.
of it.
The Mark 5
Yeah, Mark 5 comes in a
Yeah.
90 watt head or a 25.
and a 35.
You're right.
Yeah, it's a
35.
Celestion G10
Oh, I don't see 35.
greenback.
So wait, this is just the head you got.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. I already
IRL
got-
says, what's an amplifier?
right.
Not bad. Not a bad one, IRL.
Not a good one.
That's not the best, but oh, these are all combos that I'm seeing. I don't even see the. Oh, hold on, V25. Oh, here it is. Oh, so it's a $1,500 head.
I have no idea. I just traded something for it. I looked up used prices. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
What is?
Oh
the
yeah,
new
it's got
price
the
of
the
that?
5-band EQ on it.
What's the new price of it?
Looks like it says 50. Let me see. Hold on, I gotta scroll down. Actually, it doesn't have a price here.
$18.99.
$14.87 on this for not the combo, just the head.
Where are you seeing that?
Oh, sorry, $19.99. This was a pre-owned. I'm sorry, it was clicked in pre-owned. $19.99.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's expensive.
Yeah.
This market's become like such a luxury market, though. That's all the companies that are doing well are just catering to people with lots of play money.
It looks like I mean the controls are everything. It's just like a rectifier, but it has that EQ. That EQ's solid.
Yeah.
Oh, so you get
different.
you can drop
Not-
at 25 or 10 watts.
Yeah. I don't know why you need that though. You've got a master volume.
Yeah, that's
Mark Series sounds like quite a bit different from rectifiers, though. I've had a million of each of them.
yeah, they're
and
more classic
very-
toned, I would say.
Yeah, not as harsh on the top, like not as aggressive, I guess I would say, as on the top end.
Yeah, the
I had a Mark
rectifier to
IV
me.
combo.
Sorry, Joe. The rectifier to me always had a wall of sound type of sound,
Yeah.
whereas the other is a little bit more. I mean, the Mark V is probably what I would call a more working man's amp, where you can do anything with it. You can play heavy stuff, but you can also play Yaz. I think you call it Yaz.
Yeah.
Nobody in their right mind should be playing Yes.
What is yes?
Jazz. So I was
Oh.
watching. Have you guys seen the band Gambali was in the 80s when he played with Robin Ford? They had a band called the somebody typed the name of it in the chat. I'm sure everybody here knows the name of this band.
Vital
But it was
Information.
before Gambali wore a wig when he was balding.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Oh, it's excellent. And he's playing a Strat, and I think they're both playing Strats, or yeah, they're both playing Strats. And it's live at GIT. What the hell's the name of that
Who's
band?
the other guitar player?
Afterburner.
Afterburner. Thank you so much. It's Frank Gambali and Robin Ford, both playing Strats.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Playing
my God.
jazz.
Oh yeah, he's got that receding hairline.
But Gambali's showing off the receding do. It looks good. I think it looked good on him.
It looks like he just got off the construction site in New York.
I mean, it looks more realistic seeing him like that as a balding gentleman than with fucking Tina Turner's wig on in the fucking late 80s.
Amazing.
Right?
What's hair
He's
got to
playing
do with
with,
it?
I mean, in the 90s, he's playing guitar for Chick Corea walking across the stage in high heels with that wig. What's love got to do?
Oh my God. I'm looking right now at a picture of Frank Gambali and his wig, and right next to it's a picture of Michelangelo Badio and his wig.
Ah.
The coconut head hairdo.
It's fantastic.
None of them. They,
totally
you know
legit.
what? Because they didn't have the money for the Tom Petty hair system.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's what gets everybody. It's like you're either going to look ridiculous with a wig, or you're gonna be like Tom Petty, and you're gonna die.
He looked good.
50 years later with thicker hair than when you were 25.
That's right, Squire. He says you're cultivating a look. Larry David. We're both bald. I'm bald. You're cultivating a look. Gambali now plays DV Mark solid state amps. Yeah, I mean, he's
still
fucking
playing
great.
those?
The guy could play anything.
Yeah, he's still playing those. So he's been playing them for a while now.
The guy can play his ass off. He could, you could put him through a G deck. In fact, he's touring with a G deck, a Fender G deck, where you have the
Hilarious.
play along tracks.
Agreed, Elroy. Al Dimiola, he has a hairpiece, but I tell you, that has to be the best looking hairpiece I've ever seen. It actually looks somewhat real.
Let me tell you where people cannot fool you with a hairpiece. You ready? The back. The back of the head never looks right. Everyone looks like the back of the head like Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, where the hair flails along. It doesn't really come close to the head. It's always puffed out a little bit in the back, no matter how short. There's a guy who walked by me in the gym, and I was like, do you think he's fooling anybody with that hair system? It is so obvious just because you can't hide it from the back. And plus, they never fix it because they're never looking back there. They look in the front, and they're like, it looks good. Meanwhile, they walk back. It's like fucking seeing somebody with toilet paper on their shoe. It's clear as a bell. It's a wig.
Dog food.
Get the mirror. Hey, Rich, get the mirror for the back of your head so you can adjust the back of your head. You know what I mean?
Just need the
they
face
spend
back app.
Meanwhile, they're spending hours trying to fix the front, and it's like, meanwhile, who's looking at your front? No one wants to really look you straight in the eyes because they're trying to check out if it's a wig or not. So they're not really even getting a good look at the front. But the back you've left completely exposed, and we're looking at that. The second you walk by, we're doing it's a wig. I thought it was. Guy
You guys
walks by, and
familiar
I'm
with the
always
face
like,
back
it's
app?
a wig. We can see. What?
So you guys familiar with
What'd
the
you
Faceback app?
No.
Faceback.
Oh,
It's do you ever see the movie The Other Guys?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. It's so funny.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
that app Will Ferrell's talking about. Oh yeah, if you get a picture of the back of somebody's head, it'll show you their face. Like the ads that he supposedly develops. That's one of the funniest movies ever.
Oh, it's great.
The
And
other
then him with
guys?
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
That's
the
fucking
Yankee
gold.
Clipper. The Yankee Clipper. It's funny as hell.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen that movie, it's a worthwhile watch.
I
guys
watched the
thinking what
movie Nobody.
What does Sam
The other
Jackson
day.
says to The Rock? You thinking what I'm thinking? Aim for the bushes?
Right, where they jump off the building.
Yeah, it's just so.
Oh,
So
yeah, I saw
stupid.
that. I saw that.
Do a desk pop.
Right. That's funny. As
Oh,
well.
there's so much stupid stuff in that movie. But have you guys seen the movie Nobody?
yes.
No,
With Bob Odenkirk.
People have been talking to me about this Bob Odenkirk movie, Nobody, but nobody can ever describe how good the movie is. They're all like, oh, it's about a guy. Forget it. Don't tell me what it's about. Just tell me to watch it, because I've been not watching it for so long because nobody described it in any way I would want to see it. And then when I saw it, I'm like, and whoever described it to me, this is not what it is about. They're like, oh, it's an average guy. No, it's not that at all. I don't want to give it. You have to give away the movie to tell somebody what it's about, but you should watch it. RL's trying to take credit. You did tell me to watch it, and you weren't the one to tell me what it was about. But I did watch it. It's fantastic.
So I'm intrigued by the fact that you've got Michael Ironside and RZA in it. But then I also noticed that somebody named Humberly Gonzalez is in it, and now I'm more intrigued by that.
Oh, the movie's great. All you have to know is it's Odenkirk, and Odenkirk is the shit. It's great. Oh, and Christopher Lloyd's in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Christopher Lloyd, man, he is looking old.
Yeah, I saw that movie when it first came out. I'm trying to.
Oh wow, he's 84.
Yeah.
Yep.
Michael Ironside, he's looking old too. I mean,
He's also looking fat.
73 years old.
But in the movie, he's a big fat guy. When you think of Michael Ironside, I think of the guy who's trying to kill fucking Schwarzenegger in Total Recall.
Right?
I was just thinking of that too.
Or he's Jester in Top Gun.
Or he's what's his name in friggin' Scanners.
That's
I
right.
can't
The
remember
guy who
his name,
blows
but
up
the guy
another
that
guy's head.
Explodes heads, yeah.
It's also
Daryl
is
Reebok?
that his birth name? Somebody look up. Is that his birth name? What kind of great name is? What's your acting name? I'm Michael Ironside. Get this guy. Get him a wire. Get him a
Okay,
job.
no.
He should be in everything.
No, his real name is Frederick Reginald Ironside.
Seriously?
He's got the good part.
Ironside
He's
was
got
the real
last
part of his
back.
name?
Ironside's a
Yep,
great
Frederick
name.
Reginald.
That's what I was trying to say. Is I mean that his last name is so killer, but and the other name is his fake name.
Yeah. Why didn't he roll with
Frederick
Freddie
Ironside would have worked.
or Reggie?
Frederick would have worked.
Well, let me
It's no
just say
Reginald.
this. He better thank the Lord that I wasn't his agent, because I would have told him to combine the name and call himself Freginald.
Reginald Ironside.
Oh, that's right.
Reginald.
His name in
Fred-
Scanners was Daryl Reebok. I should have known that.
What a great name.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was in Starship Troopers. Oh, you love
he
Starship
was great in
Troopers,
Starship Troopers.
Arel
It was
loves that
over
movie.
Oh, me too.
Starship Troopers, great.
Greatest fucking movie ever made.
What is?
Starship Troopers. I love it.
What? It's a great movie. I won't say
I
the
love
greatest
that movie.
ever made. But
Cheech
Yeah.
says
I
he was
love
good in
his,
visiting
the
hours.
hidden message in it.
But anyways, if any of you guys in the chat have Prime and haven't seen Nobody, it's free. Watch Nobody.
Okay.
It's great. It's great.
Sold.
And I'll tell you the best part
What?
about it, John. 94 minutes running time.
Oh, all right. That's a seller.
That to me is it. You can
What
bang out a
genre?
movie in an hour and a half.
What's the genre?
Action thriller.
Action.
Is
Yeah.
it? Oh,
Oh yeah. Ass kicking.
Oh, I know
Great.
this. Yeah, I haven't. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
That's the one where he's in the
poster
bus.
on it has him taking a punch to the face.
Right, he's in the bus. Yeah. That's on
Yes.
my to watch list.
Yes, it's great. It's great.
Did we want to do a list or not?
Yeah. Let's
let's
go.
do it.
Let's see what we got.
10
Now, last week we did.
Hold on, ask me if we want to do a list.
Do you want to do a list?
Yeah. That's for RL.
Oh,
That's what Dr. Disrespect always does. Yeah.
Now,
You guys
last
aren't
week
watching.
we did the top 70 hard rock and metal albums of the 1970s, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to hit the top 80 hard rock and metal albums of the 80s?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let me load this list by our good friends at Loudwire.
Well, Loudwire, that's somewhat of a legitimate metal.
Yeah.
I'm sure this list is going to suck.
Oh, yeah. Well, remember, it's the same people that did last week's. Okay, let me.
Celtic Frost.
Coming in at number 80, Poison. Look what the cat dragged in.
Right off the bat.
Right off the
At,
fucking
at least they put it at 80. It doesn't belong there. but at least
Lemonade.
They put it at the bottom of the list.
Lemonade. I don't know
Lemonade.
if I could put that on any list.
I
What
like
the-
it.
Unless
I
it's a
have
list
it.
of.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated it. Never had it.
What?
It's the
What is
worst
this
the
list?
80s have to offer.
This
The
is
best
the top
metal
80
albums.
hard rock and metal albums of the 80s. Top 80 metal and hard
Grab
rock.
King's
of the 80s.
X.
Oh, they better be
They
all
won't.
over this list.
Well, yeah, the first two albums.
Coming in at number 79, Social Distortion, Mommy's Little Monster.
It's not even a metal band.
Hard rock?
Well, metal
Not
and
even hard rock.
I don't think it's hard rock either.
I think it's more punk, right?
Are we talking about Social D?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely
You
more.
say
in the-
yes without fucking wanting to slap me through the computer after I say Social D.
I don't
Coming
know.
in at 78, Spinal Tap with Is This Spinal Tap? Or This is Spinal Tap.
Well,
Okay.
you know, it's not great music, but it's like it's iconic.
I guess
Okay.
if you're putting together a list,
Working on a sex farm.
yeah, you're just putting parody
Big
records in there in the top
bottom.
100.
Big Bottom.
Can't be too serious.
Coming in at 77, I don't think this band is hard rock or metal. Here's The Clash with Combat Rock.
Huh?
I
Listen, that
agree with
album's
John right
not-
there. Huh.
Not hard rock.
Terrible.
Here we go. This is a great album, too. Number 76, Blue Oyster Cult, Fire of Unknown Origin.
That's
Well, you've
I
got
can't name a
veteran
lot
of the
songs. on it.
Veteran of the Psychic
Thousand
Wars.
Psychic Wars
that
is the
one.
greatest
Yep.
song ever made.
And
And
Burning
you
for
got
You.
Burning
God.
for You on
What
that.
is wrong
Yeah,
with
those are
you
the only
guys?
two songs I know off of it.
Well, those are two great songs. Burning for You
Oh,
is
yeah.
great. And
Burning
Veteran of
for
the
You.
Thousand Psychic Wars is
Joan
great.
Crawford.
Joan Crawford has risen. That's on the same album. God, that
Yeah.
song sounds so
I thought that was
early.
on an earlier album.
I did too. The sound is terrible on that song.
Says the band indulged the strange and mystical aspects they're known for on the title track and Joan Crawford. After Dark is the closing single. Closest? I don't know. Number 75, Quiet Riot, Mental Health.
Metal Health.
Bow,
Metal Health.
Bow, bow.
Horrible.
I can
Oh,
understand.
come
that.
on. I like it.
I hated it.
Had a few good
Well,
songs.
The only
DL.
song I liked when it first came out
Are
was
you an
Metal
axe
Hell.
grinder?
That went away kind of quick.
Pile driver.
Or a pile driver.
Isn't it really that whole section the same as Let It Rock by
Yeah.
Def Leppard? Well, I'm right. It's the same thing.
Let it go. Yeah.
The
Let
best-
it go. What I say.
The best is Slick Black Cadillac.
Oh,
Not that album,
Solid
but
gold hubcaps. So dumb.
Oh, it's terrible. Terrible.
coming in at 74, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Mother's Milk.
oh, I love
Mother's
that
Milk.
album.
Hard rock now?
It's a decent record, but I wouldn't call it a hard rock album.
Yeah.
That
It is a
for
decent
Shanty's guitar tone, that's probably the heaviest he's ever been.
Now, let me just say this. I wouldn't mind if they said Nothing Shocking by Jane's Addiction, because I think that's a great heavy rock album. Coming down the mountain,
Oh, that's a
But
great. Yeah.
But I don't believe the Chili Peppers' Mother's Milk falls into that.
No.
Subway to Venus and all that shit. No. Go ahead.
Coming in at 73, Rat Out of the Cellar.
Hmm.
That's
Okay,
metal.
I like that.
It's a good album. Back for More is on that. Wanted Man. That was the whole record. I think gets overlooked. It was a good record when it came out.
Out of the Cellar? I thought that was like the most popular one. Round and Round.
What was Round and Round? Yeah, it was
Round
big.
and
But I'm saying there's a
Round,
lot of
Wanted Man.
songs.
Yeah.
Wanted Man, Back for More. Whereas like the next record had 2 songs. Invasion of Your Privacy only had You're in Love and
That was my favorite commercial.
Talk.
2
Lay
years
It Down.
ago. We got
No,
this
which one
brand
had
new
Naughty
house,
Talk?
but there's a rat problem in this. We have rat in the cellar. I said, that's not a problem. It's not a
All
problem.
right, that's the commercial.
Coming in at
You suck.
72, Ministry, The Land of Rape and Honey.
I have no
I'll
idea
say
what's on
this:
that.
the opening track, Stigmata, on that album, is a fucking 10. I love Stigmata. As far as the rest of the album, there's some good tracks and some bad tracks. Overall, I give the album a thumbs up. But Stigmata is a must-hear. You have to listen to it.
Very good.
Then I'm looking at the next one. Coming in at 71, Ramones, End of the Century.
The
So I guess
Ramones
they're just
suck.
calling punk,
My
even
brother
pop
will
punk
like that
as
pick.
But it's
Ramones are
not
concerned.
hard rock or metal.
Yeah.
Coming in at 70, number 70. Well, this is definitely metal. Scorpions, Love at First Sting.
Great album.
Yep, except for Rock You Like a Hurricane.
It's just
that's-
overplayed, but it was good for the record when that came out.
Big City Nights, Still Loving
Yeah.
You. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Coming Home is on that record. As Soon as the Good Times Roll, Crossfire.
Now, what's better, that album or Blackout?
Blackout's better.
Well,
Yeah,
according
way
to
better.
this list, at number 69, Scum by Napalm Death is better.
Wouldn't know.
Wouldn't know.
That's
What
a
a no.
hipster metal doofus pick.
Well, here's a good album. Coming in at number 68, Danzig with Danzig. Mother.
Can't
That's a
take
good
it.
album. You don't like it?
Nah, I just think that it's just one-dimensional, and I don't really care for it.
Dirty Black
All
Summer.
right. Coming in at 67, Skid Row with Skid Row.
I like Monkey Business better, so it could be on that list.
Yeah,
but
so
this is still,
that one
I don't know if this
Slave
would be
to the
my
Grind
top.
is a much better album.
Slave
Yes.
to the Grind, yes. Is that the one with Monkey Business?
Yeah, it came out
Yeah.
in 91.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 90s though.
Yeah.
Well, coming in at 66, Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry.
You're gonna burn in hell, no evil.
Well, that's probably the best song on it. Yeah.
Well, We're Not Going to Take It, I Want to Rock.
Yeah, it's a big album.
Coming in at 65, Motorhead with Iron Fist.
Devil's Grip,
Surprised they
the
didn't say
Iron Fist.
Orgasmatron.
I love. Now, let me just say this, because never in a list has anyone brought up the Iron Fist. I think Iron Fist is Motorhead's best album.
Hmm.
I think it's better than Ace of Spades.
I'll have to
And I
listen to it.
love
don't
the
know
song
that.
Iron Fist. The song Iron Fist is gold. Devil's Grip, the Iron Fist. It's
Here we go. Coming in at 64, Death with Leprosy.
oh god.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I know the name of
No.
the guitar
I
player.
know it.
That's all I
Chuck
know.
Schuldinger.
Yeah. 63, Metallica and Justice for All.
I mean, like, I think it's got a bad rap. I like Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and
I'm not a Metallica fan, so
I liked it at the time. I haven't
I like
listened
the
to
early
it in
stuff.
years.
Hugh,
Yeah.
give it a listen. It's called the Iron Fist. It's good.
Coming in at
Good record.
62, The Cult with Electric.
What was the
Probably
big?
higher
Is
on
that
the list.
that was the second album, wasn't it?
That should be higher
That
on
was
the
the
list.
one with
Yeah.
Love Removal. That's
Got
what
Love Removal Machine,
Yep.
Wildflower.
that was a great
Wildflower.
record. That's like 87, right?
87.
Yeah. Molly Hatchet.
Coming in
There's
at
a gator in the bush. I love Gator Country. Go ahead.
Number 61, Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet.
Pass.
Well, you can't deny its popularity.
Can't
I
deny
never
it.
like
Shite.
His
I'm already-
favorite
I'm
records
already-
are Messiah's. Was it
I'll
Handel's
take it over
Messiah
Poison.
and Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet.
I'm already praising and worshiping the next album. It's number 60, Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers.
Ugh.
Okay, I like the song.
You like the
I
other
did
song
listen
too?
to the
huh?
record a bunch. I don't know that there's a lot of great songs on the record though.
Yeah, I can only name
Coming
two
through the
songs.
back
Knocking on
door
your
or
back
whatever.
door and,
Knocking on your
and
back
Perfect
door,
Strangers.
Perfect
I can't
Stranger.
listen to either one anymore. I loved it when the record came out, but since it's been in the gym mix, I had to delete it out of there because I can't take it.
Coming in at 59, they're back. Scorpions. What album, Dave?
Blackout.
Blackout,
Blackout. 1982.
great album. Blackout, no one. What's it? Can't live without you. No one like you. You give me all I need. Don Dawkins sang background on. It's Don Dawkins on that.
China White.
China White.
Coming in at number 58, a gentleman who plays guitar, middle initial J.
Ingve.
What album?
Marching Out.
Trilogy.
Probably.
No.
No, it's
So
got to
then
be.
it's the
It's
first
got to be
one.
a
First
solo
one.
record, right?
Rising Force.
Yeah, Rising Force.
1984.
Yeah.
Coming in at 57, Slayer, South of Heaven.
Okay.
Not a fan.
I'm not a big Slayer
I'd
fan.
I'd put it higher on the list, but that's okay
Coming in at
Really?
56.
for sure.
What do you mean higher? You mean closer to one?
Yeah, I'm excited to hear the rest of this stuff, but basically, like anywhere on this list where you end up finding, like, Open Up and Say Ah from Poison or something stupid, like just put another Slayer record there.
But I'm saying you could put so much other stuff like that they haven't even mentioned. We'll see what we get through.
Yeah, I mean, I still think for metal, I'll take that one and Rain and Blood higher on the list. I like those
Iron
guys
Maiden
more
yet.
than you guys do, though.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yet at 56, Krellbar is one of my favorite albums, Iron Maiden Killers.
Oh, geez.
I love Killers.
Killers awesome.
I just said no Iron Maiden yet.
Coming in at 55, Venom with Black Metal. I don't know.
Okay, so Slayer
Garbage.
could have been there.
Right.
Coming in at 54, Carcass, Symphonies of Sickness.
Here we go with the
Slayer
hits
could have been there.
Metal.
See, we're climbing that list with South of Heaven right now.
Coming in at 53, Testament, The Legacy.
Slayer could have been there.
Oh, you love Alex Skolnick, though.
Yeah, but The Legacy sounds like a high school recording. It's a terrible record.
Oh, I don't know.
They're only putting the first one on there because somebody wants to be hip and cool.
Right.
Like
Well, because maybe
Practice
Yeah,
What You Preach is a much better album.
is it?
Yeah,
80s
how
or
about the
90s?
Hearts of Black, too?
I think I don't remember what year it was, but I think Practice What You Preach is like 88.
Oh, okay.
Coming in at 53, Bathory, Under the Sign of the Black Mark.
Here
I'm sure
comes the
everybody's
obscure
spent a lot of
fucking-
time listening to Bathory on the radio.
Oh yeah.
No. Coming
Lot
in
Let me
of-
at
say
lot
the
of
record
record
label.
sales
The
to
record
hold up
label
that
when they
price.
released that record took a Bathory.
They really took the shit business and lost.
It was a Shabathory.
Shabathory.
Exactly.
Coming in at 51, finally a band I know and an album I purchased. It's Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil.
Could have
You
put
could have put Slayer there.
1983.
I'm with you there.
Just keep-
Oh, hopefully they
let's
put
keep
the
going.
first one. Yeah.
Coming in at number 50, one of my all-time favorite albums that'll get a lot of comments because you guys are always commenting on it. It's Black Sabbath, Mob Rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
Other than the guitar,
Now, John
tones being
thinks the
muddy,
guitar
I think
tone's
it's
terrible. I don't think it's terrible on every song, but like on Voodoo, I agree with you.
Voodoo.
Turn Up the Night. Yeah, Turn Up
It's
the
a
Night
great
isn't,
riff.
but
It's a great
Falling
riff,
Off
but
the
it's
Edge of the
very muddy.
World is a great guitar tone. Bow, now, 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 now. It sounds very Maiden-esque. And Sign of the Southern Cross has a great guitar tone.
If you listen to fool.
Ronnie
Oh,
James,
so good.
his voice on that album was just beautiful.
Yeah. he's
Coming in
out.
at 49, Bad Brains, Eye Against Eye.
I don't know it.
I had
I
it.
like Bad Brains.
I didn't love them.
I was a
But I
casual
liked
fan.
them.
Were they
I wa-
kind of punky or what?
Yeah,
What was
they were
their-
punk.
Punk.
Okay, number 48, Nirvana, Bleach. It's not hard rock or metal.
Well, the only
It
reason why
also
we
was
know about this
completely
album is
unknown
because the other
until-
album was big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one knew what fucking Bleach was in the 80s.
Yeah, they only knew what Bleach was because Nevermind blew up.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I'd
Number
call
four-
it pop with an edge.
Number 47, Bad Religion, Suffer.
Okay.
Sure made everyone suffer.
Put Slayer there too.
There we go. Number 46, someone finally got back on track. It's Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind.
That should be higher on the list.
Yeah.
That I will agree with. Should be in
Yeah.
the top 10.
And so should number 45, because it's Diary of a Madman by Ozzy Osbourne.
Agreed.
Fuck, that should be top 15. Those last two.
Now
it's
I'm
not 10
curious
for
what
me.
the top ones are going to be now.
Here's an album I know Dave likes. It's Whitesnake by Whitesnake.
It's a good album.
Promise.
I think Slide It In is far superior, but Whitesnake's good.
Motley Crue is back at 43 with Dr. Feelgood.
No way is that better than Shout at the Devil. Not on this
I
planet.
agree with you. Number 42 is Descendants. Milo Goes to College.
That is punk as punk
Alternative.
can get.
Okay,
Right.
and now let me point out, because I have to agree with you, because the first fucking sentence of the description, the world of hardcore punk took a more personal, emotional turn with the Descendants. Then why the fuck, if you're saying it's hardcore punk, why is it on hard rock and a metal list?
Yeah, it shouldn't
No,
be
why
there.
is it this
No.
high on the list?
I actually like that one. That one's it's interesting, but it's not shouldn't be on the list. Anyway, carry on.
Iron Maiden is back at number 41. What album, Dave?
I'm going to have
Power
to
Slave?
say exactly Power Slave.
No,
Somewhere in
Really?
time.
no.
Number
John?
of the Beast.
Number of the Beast needs to be higher, but
Number of the Beast has to be higher. No.
Yeah,
Seventh Son of a
Seventh
Seventh Son. Yeah.
oh, okay, interesting.
So they think that album's
Process of
better than Peace of
elimination.
Mind.
Yeah.
No,
No.
That's
No.
so fucking wrong.
that's wrong.
Deadly sins.
Oh, God. Moonchild.
Coming in at number 40, Morbid Angel, Altars of Madness, better than Maiden?
Yeah,
No.
No,
so
probably not.
ridiculous.
Ray Azagoth.
And coming in at number 39, Halloween, Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 2.
I don't think it should be that high, but
How-
I like
But they were
Halloween.
kind of a Maiden ripoff.
It
How can
shouldn't
a
be
Maiden ripoff be better than any
Yeah,
Maiden?
exactly.
I mean, I love those two
Hey,
albums.
hey, Jay, what's up, man? Where's Abba? That's on my
They're
top
number
list.
one.
Coming in at 38, King Diamond with Abigail.
I'm not a King Diamond fan.
No, not me.
Well, that means Merciful Fate's probably higher.
Coming in at 37, the guitar player in this band is one of Dave's favorite soloists. It's Living Color with Vivid.
Okay. Now, I love that record. I actually
Yeah,
really love that
I do
record.
too. But the yeah,
Yeah, I agree. It's a good record. That's the first one, right?
Yeah.
I think
Okay, yeah.
Talking Heads cover is one of the best things on it.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good. That should be in this top 50 list or whatever it is, I think. But yeah, okay.
Number 36, first time on the list tonight, Judas Priest, British Steel.
Fantastic record.
That means
Really
my
good.
favorite's going to be higher.
That good.
Right, exactly.
And they got beaten out at number 35 by Merciful Fate, Don't Break the Oath.
This Merciful Fate will let tell you. It's shortly after King Diamond. There's got to be Merciful Fate.
Okay, number 34, Violent Femmes with Violent Femmes.
I hate that record with a passion.
That's not even rock.
Okay, coming in at 33, an album I believe just celebrated 40-year anniversary, Metallica, Kill 'Em All.
That's a good album.
Yeah.
I don't think it's great, but I think it's good.
I love this next album. Number
I think
32.
Ride the Lightning is great. What's 32?
Number 32, Anthrax, Among the Living.
Okay.
I like the later Anthrax. I have to say, I do like the later stuff better. So hopefully they'll still be in there.
That's the
For
one
all
that has
kings.
Exactly.
decent on it. And
Well, it's just 80s, so I don't think it's going to be there.
So, coming in at 31, Sepultura, Beneath the Remains.
Okay.
I've heard of them, but I couldn't name any songs.
I think
Coming in at
Brazilian.
30, I love this album, but they're a punk band. It's the Misfits, Walk Among Us.
That's Danzig's band, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
29, weren't they on the list before? Bad Brains. This time they're there.
they
Bad
were.
Brains with Bad Brains.
Wow.
Number 28,
Oh, I know
I'm
that.
pretty sure this band is a punk band too. The Dead Kennedys.
Yes.
100%.
Jello
Fresh Fruit,
Biafra.
the Rotting
Voted.
Vegetables.
100%.
Why? Oh,
He's
Venom's
Bay
back
Yeah,
at
next week,
27.
Joe, for sure. I mean, next week, Hugh, for sure.
Venom is back at 27 with Welcome to Hell. Here's
Oh,
another punk bag.
where's Grim Reaper? See you in hell.
Yeah, I was just
Nick
I was
Boyce
just
back
thinking
in
the
the,
same thing.
Number
Bocart back in the
26,
mix.
Black Flag, Damaged. That's another punk band.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, it's more punk. And why is it this fucking high?
I don't know, man. Number
I think
25,
Henry Rollins would look at this list and go, "What the fuck?"
right? Number 25, Celtic Frost to Mega Therion.
I told you Celtic Frost to be on the fucking
makes no
list.
Here we
Oh, my
go.
God.
Here we go. Iron Maiden at 24. What's the album, Dave?
Number of the Beast.
No. John.
Somewhere in time.
Oh, it's Power Slave then.
It's Power Slave.
Okay.
First concert he ever saw was the Power Slave concert.
So does that mean that Somewhere in Time is going to be on this list higher, or is it going to?
I
Shouldn't
don't
be.
know. 23,
probably-
Def Leppard. Hysteria.
That
Hysteria.
blows. That entire album, I could not stand it when it came out. Still can't fucking stand it. Other than that, I have no strong opinion.
Number 22, Exodus, Bonded by Blood.
Oh, Christ.
Christ is right.
Number 21, Van Halen. Guess what album, Dave?
1984.
Fair
You got
warning.
it. 1984. You got
Oh
it.
my God.
Well,
list is
they could
horrendous.
be higher.
I think he's guessing. Were you thinking what shouldn't it be? And that's where you got that guess from?
What,
I don't
me?
know.
he's
the Van
thinking of what's
Halens,
the
yeah.
pop album.
Okay.
He's thinking
Number
the most
20,
popular.
Judas Priest is back.
Screaming for Vengeance.
I just figure that number one will be something like the
That's-
Offspring's like first demo record or something. judging
That's
from this
what
list.
you would think, Krellbar, but it's
What, they
actually
put Ram It
Defend-
Down over fucking British Steel?
No, it's
Not Ram
neither.
It
Of the,
Down,
it's Defenders of the Faith.
Defenders of Faith, I mean.
Yeah.
They put
Terrible.
Defenders of Faith over British Steel.
Are you logged in?
That makes no sense.
Coming in at number 19, Minor Threat, Out of Step.
Well,
I don't know. Coming in at number 18, Rush, Moving Pictures.
Okay, go ahead, Mom. Help.
Great
Great
record.
album. Wait a second.
What are we doing?
That punk
Number
band is a
18 was
better
Moving Pictures.
Okay.
Rush.
than- oh,
It's not exactly hard rock, but okay.
Number 17, Dio,
Difficult rock.
Holy Diver.
Okay.
All right.
16, Motorhead, Ace of Spades.
I think Iron Fist is better, but go on.
Number 15, Queensryche, Mind Crime.
Oh,
Good. Better be there.
Number 14, Megadeth, Peace Cells, Who's Buying?
Okay. Got it.
I like that album.
Number 13, Metallica, Riding the Lightning.
all right. That's at least better than the first one.
Number 12, Jane's Addiction, Nothing Shocking.
Oh, so it did
Oh,
make
you
it.
mentioned that earlier. That's pretty high, though.
Number 11, Def Leppard is back with Pyromania.
I like that album.
Oh,
Okay.
Played, but
What we should do guesswork for the top 10.
all right. Do
Yeah.
do I even say the band? What do I do? Just say the band? What do you want me to say? How do I do
Nah.
it?
well,
If
there's
the
going to be a
band is
number of
making
the
a
Beast.
comeback,
How about
if the band has already been on the list, we have to guess the band.
what if we just guess what we think top 10 records are and you tell us where on this list they are?
Okay, Number of the Beast is going to be there. There's going to be Screaming for Vengeance. There's probably going to be.
Oh, Dave's going to have a fucking heart attack when I tell him number one.
Okay, just go down the list.
Well,
Okay.
Let's go.
I'm
What's
saying-
number 10? So number 10 is number 10 new to the list, or have they been on the list already?
They've been on the list before.
Okay, so
Screaming
now
for
we have a
Vengeance.
place to guess.
Rain and Blood.
Technically, they've been on the list twice before, but not in the same band.
Oh,
Ooh.
I'm gonna say it's Rainbow. No, it's Dio.
Deep
Is it?
Purple. Perfect Strangers. Did you say that already?
that's already on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's already
No,
on the
it's
list.
not Deep Purple. It's not Dio.
Ozzy.
Blizzard of Oz.
No.
Yep.
Dave,
Ozzy.
in the old game, we would say Warm.
Okay. It's Black Sabbath, and the album is
Warmer.
Paranoid.
Cold.
No, it can't be. Heaven and Hell.
No.
Here you go. Heaven and Hell.
Oh.
You were warm with
Did you say
Dio.
Paranoid?
Yeah,
1970?
then you went to Paranoid.
Oh, yeah. What the hell? I'm thinking, oh, yes.
Straight
sorry.
fart.
Number 9 has been on the list before.
Master
Agreement
of
for
Puppets.
Vengeance.
That's going to be high.
No, you have to guess the band first. Judas Priest.
No.
John,
Well,
can you
yeah.
guess it?
Going, AC/DC.
No, they haven't been on the list
No, they
yet.
haven't been on the list yet. Wow.
How do
Oh,
you have
so-
a hard rock list without AC/DC on the list?
Back
Oh,
in
no,
Black
Number
and
of the
White,
Beast,
it's gotta
Iron
be at
Maiden.
least like a top
No.
three.
No.
Dave?
Scorpions.
No. Grell?
Oh, shit. Fair Warning.
No.
Are you naming a band or a record?
Megadeth.
Oh,
You said man. Oh. man.
Oh no, you already said Peace Sells, so it's not going to be.
well, I may as well guess what album.
It's 10:35. I don't want to rush you guys.
Yeah.
Dave?
Megadeth.
You're putting us to sleep.
All right, what's the band? We'll come up with the album.
They didn't. Not one of you geniuses got the hint. It's 10:35. I want to rush you guys.
Oh,
Oh,
Rush.
it's Rush.
What album?
Oh, it's
Well,
got
now it's going to
singles?
be Permanent Waves.
Permanent Waves.
Permanent Waves.
Number 8. They are back. Dave?
Judas Priest.
Yes. What album?
Screaming for Vengeance.
He's right.
Screaming.
That's it. Finally. came
Number
out.
7. He is back.
He is back.
Dio.
Singular.
No.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy.
Yes.
Blizzard.
Album?
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
Not Blizzard. The Diary
Blizzard.
of Madman.
Number
Diary
6
was REM.
was not on the. They weren't on the list.
AC/DC.
No.
Rainbow. No, they're not in the 80s. Well, they were, but
The Beastie
Yeah, they were.
Boys. See what I did there?
They weren't
yeah, it's
on the
probably not a
list.
bad guess. Quiet
Yeah, let's
Riot.
see,
No,
yeah.
they were already in the
Oh,
Think,
how about, I got it.
Go ahead.
Guns N' Roses.
No.
Ah,
Oh, I'm surprised. That's a good guess.
What?
though.
All right, give us the band. We'll give the album.
All right. The band is 9 Inch Nails.
oh.
Pretty Hate Machine.
Yes. Now we're at the
That's
top
high.
5. They're back. And I think someone here would be happy that they're back.
Iron Maiden.
Slayer.
No. What did you say,
Metallica.
John?
Slayer.
Slayer. What
Rain and
Slayer?
Blood.
Rain and Blood.
Yeah. 1986.
Number 4. They're back.
Metallica.
No.
Iron Maiden.
Yes. What album?
At Number of the Beast.
Correct. Number 3. They weren't on the list yet.
AC/DC.
Yeah, what album?
Back in Black.
There we go. Number 2. They're back.
Metallica.
Yes. What album?
Master of Puppets.
Correct.
Yep.
Number 1 has not been on the list. I gave you a hint before that Dave wouldn't be happy.
Guns
Anne
N'
Murray.
Roses.
Bob
Dave,
Dylan.
what'd you say?
Guns N' Roses.
What album?
Appetite.
Correct.
That's number 1.
That's number
Oy
1.
vey.
Wow,
Oy
talk
vey.
about a letdown.
You know what's funny
Yeah.
is I can't stomach that record. And I love Use Your Illusion too, but like My Michelle, actually I like Mr. Brownstone.
I like It's So Easy. That was the only song.
Yeah, I
liked
don't.
on that. I didn't.
I like Hanoi Bomb says GNR will be number 1. Dave's head explodes.
Exactly.
No King's X.
Oh, look at no Fastway or Vandenberg. I love Vandenberg. This burning heart of mine. That was a great tune.
I don't think
Fastway I can't stand. I never liked
Fastway
Say
is-
What You Will.
Say what you will. Yeah,
I
it's
knew
scary.
it will.
Here's a list for next week. 66 most important moments in metal history.
Oh,
Were there 66
And it's cute how they
moments?
said 66 because it's just one.
yeah,
six
one of
short.
them is the events in history is when Rob Halford's visiting the restroom in Venice Beach.
Yeah.
If you read his
Yeah,
book,
Rob
you
comes
guys
out
will
of the
get it.
closet.
Ah, unbelievable.
I know Cliff Burton getting crushed by the bus will probably be one of them.
You know what I can't stand though, before we wrap this up tonight, is I can't stand these, these what do you call it when people listen to stuff for the first time?
Oh, I fucking
Oh.
hate that.
First,
And
the
this
reaction?
girl is listening reaction
reaction.
videos.
Who
And this
cares?
girl's listening to the Beatles for the first time. And so
Are
she
you
listened to
crying?
no, but she was listening to Sergeant Pepper the whole way through. And then afterwards she was like, this is better than Revolver. I'm like, would you shut the hell up? What are you talking about? It's not even better than Hard Day's Night. Forget about Revolver or Rubber Soul. It's not as good as Abbey Road. It's an overrated album, and you're just annoying the shit out of me.
that's not the
Mr.
singer girl there with the.
Oh, now you're talking, Hannah Baum. I'd love to see that.
70s AM list.
Hey, Jay, you're right. They couldn't find 100. How about 70s AM list? I love that.
Yeah, that'd be AM hits of the 70s.
That's the best.
Yeah, all these reaction
Jigsaw.
videos. I find it incredible that, like, you see like the ones I always watch because it just makes me laugh how phony they are. Is like when you see like the black guy who's like listening to a metal song for the first time, and it'll be like a common metal song, like so and so here's Holy Diver for the first time, and then right underneath it there'll be every other African American person who does reaction videos, and they're all listening to that same one for the first time.
Right.
It's
Right.
like, you guys it's so phony. Like the whole thing is so phony. It's
Well, I
like,
saw one where there was I hate when they try to come from a place of authority. Classical composer listens to Pink Floyd. Oh, you're a classical composer now? Like that
Right.
makes your fucking opinion mean anything?
That's
British
hilarious. I know
guitar
what you're talking
player.
about.
And then there's another one where there's a vocal coach, and she's
Yeah.
like vocal coach. And so I
They're all
watched
vocal
her.
coaches.
I watched her do a live. It was Jeff Tate live, and he sounded terrible.
And she's
And I
Tyrone
love
Ray.
Jeff. And I love Jeff Tate from Queensryche, but he sounded horrible with this at this show. And she's like, "Oh, listen to the use of vibrato. Really, you like that use of vibrato when he's fucking 50 cents sharp on that fucking note?" And then like one time, and I seen another one where the woman was like, "Well, this ain't his best performance, but he's really great." That I respect because at least she's understanding the guy's completely out of tune. But it's like when they sit there and they're like, because they don't want to isolate or make anyone who like wanted to hear, oh, I want to see what you think of Jeff Tate.
He's that girl that gets giddy every time she has like a key change or like this rhythm change. She's like, oh, I gotta play it back again.
Well, they also they have to stop like how often they have to stop like every 15
Yeah,
seconds. What's the deal in terms of like the licensing?
They're just trying to beat the algorithm so they don't get busted, but they don't
Well, that's what I
need to
mean.
do that. But they don't need to because if they're reviewing it, they could easily fight and win.
Yeah,
They
yes.
wouldn't have to do that. They just don't want to deal with fighting.
Right.
So
because it's
YouTube,
a lot of
yeah.
work.
It's not a lot of work. It's just writing to YouTube saying, "Here's my address, sue me." And I'm in and all you have to say is you're never going to win. And they anybody that would look at that would be like, yeah, we can't go after this person. They're doing a review of a song. They have every right to. It's the algorithm that automatically does it in YouTube. How many times I get people telling me like, I've had to say to several different. I said to Don Henley's thing. Don Henley's thing came after me. I said, "Here's my name and address. Sue me." I won. They're not going to come sue me. I'm teaching how to play a song. I have every right to use their copyright, but they can go in the system allows them to go in and shut people down temporarily unless someone says, like I did, sue me. And that they either have to sue me, how are they going to sue me? Like, what are they going to sue me for? First of all, they'd be in the wrong. and it's going to cost them more than money than they would have ever made on it anyways. It's a losing thing. And the thing is, that's why I get pissed off at Rick Beato, because Rick Beato's like, instead of fighting anyone, he tries to avoid it. And it's like, this guy's got a big channel. Have a fucking pair of balls and tell them to fuck off and sue you. If you're in the right, you're in the right. They're not going to sue you. They're not coming after you because you sit there and you played a section of Hotel California to point out a part that you're analyzing. They're not coming after you. And if they did come after you through YouTube, they're not coming after you any part after that because there's nothing there. Hey, Janice, welcome. Good to see you. Anyways, folks, I believe that's going to be the end of the evening. I have a cigar to smoke in my driveway with the deer and the coyote out there. There's a lot of. I've seen a lot of deer and coyotes in my area these days.
Just saw a deer.
But anyways,
Southbridge today.
I don't know if I've ever seen or heard anybody shut down a conversation by saying, "I got a cigar to smoke in my driveway."
With some deer and coyote. How about that? This Saturday, folks, I'll be playing at Martini's with Emily. Jim has something to do with he has to take his daughter to look at some school or something. And so it's Emily and I this Saturday, and that'll be a fun show. And then I don't know what I'm doing next after that. Well, I mean, I'll beer and peyote.
Beer and coyote or beer and peyote?
Krellbar, this is why the jokes have to go through the production team. We cannot allow.
I am the production team, bitch.
Yeah, you know what happened was Hannah Baum was after I took it out of the sun, I was like, I'm not setting this up it got to be a pain in the neck. Oh, Bingham did the Irish exit.
Goodbye.
Anyways, Martini's is in Plymouth, Massachusetts, Court Street. All right, everyone, that's the show. But anyways, Hannah Baum, going back, I didn't feel like filming the rest. I was tired. For Joe Herivey, if you're coming in to watch this this is for you, Joe Herivey. I know you'll love it. I saw you in the chat today, Joe Herivey, on the Docs channel, and you didn't say hi back. All right. Everett, thanks for coming in, Everett. Good to see you, buddy. Everyone, have a great week. I want to thank Joe for being here. I want to thank Krellbar for being here. And the mysterious person who took off in the wind was John Bingham. Let's see. Where's my goodbye? Here it is. No? That says intro. Oh, why did I put it all the way to the top? I guess I did.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Yeah, actually, I'll watch those while I smoke. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. As always, very good.